most impressed with how well they collaborate.
They point to the ability to overcome adversity, the need to adapt to challenges, the need to have a collaborative working environment.
And you're going to hear this word a lot today because it's true, is collaboration. The collaboration that Matt and I have.
What we've done in the past couple of years together, there's conviction and there's collaboration to dig in and reflect and say why.
When you can collaborate.
I think it's the way they collaborate. We think that their collaboration will result in the right decisions. The leadership, the collaboration, the adaptability, again, the collaboration.
It's the collaborative relationship that Matt and I have.
So when you look at the whole product and the collaboration,
it's a collaborative effort.
Again, I've told you about the collaboration and nothing's changed there. So it's been a great collaboration.
I know we keep on using the word collaborative, but it's so real.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!
The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
Watch the tape, and when you see the tape, you know the tape doesn't lie, and the tape doesn't lie.
We've been getting after it this week, so I'm excited to go play.
What did you observe from Justin, just how he handled this week, his first week back, and bleeding into the Packers game?
Good.
You guys get with A-Rob and to keep Hicks back to practice. What has that done for the team? Is that a boost getting both those guys back on the practice field?
Yes, of course.
Dave, is there any difference in your game with Justin or Andy, just in terms of how you get the handoff, the speed of it, reacting to what's going on out there?
No.
About how the Packers have been able to play the run the last couple weeks.
They're good.
In your eyes?
Every week is.
David, you said after the Cardinals game that not a lot of people get to do what you do. What is it that you love most about your job?
I get to play football. Y'all got to give me better questions than that. Like, thank y'all. Next time I'm married.
There are a few good ones.
I don't think it's the same.
I think Jasper Horsted is an upgrade, and that's where politics comes into play over performance. It's like there's a complete disconnect. We showed you Belichick talking about stats are for losers, which is true. It's been preached that here. The tape tells me. So Jasper has had a connection with this young quarterback, outside, a cerebral one that's outside of the communication on the chalkboard. It's on the field connection. That is priceless when you're dealing with a tight end and a young quarterback. So to showcase the complete and utter stupidity of this coaching staff, you don't play this guy and help your team out. That to me, you just keep throwing your second round pick out there until let's force a marriage. That shit doesn't work even in India where they do that shit. It just doesn't work. So I just look at this, it's disappointing. Like, make the competition. Play the best players. Like, what happened here?
Yeah, it's just,
what's the vibe there? Like,
I'll tell you, the vibe at the stadium Sunday, it was dead. It was lifeless. It was just, I get people file in after 12. That's fine. There's still a lot of empty seats after 12 o'clock. There are people leaving at halftime. The weather sucked. I get it. How many times has the weather been bad in Chicago? Look at the Christmas Day game or Christmas Eve game against the Browns. There's still a lot of people there, and it's snowing pretty bad. Yeah, it was pretty dead. I'd say at Hallis Hall, I won't call it dead. I do think there are probably players that are kind of like, what the hell's going on here. We kind of got to change. But I do think, there are players, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep fighting and kind of give you that generic type talk. It's kind of hard to gauge anything on these players because, 2 years ago, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you how the locker room is. Like, we don't even get to go in the locker room anymore because the NFL COVID rules. So it's very hard. So you get these players, and it's not the Bears' fault. You get these players in one setting. So it's very, very hard. But yeah, man, the game, it was lifeless. There was not I think it got so boring that they didn't even want to do the Fire Nagy chance because it was exhausting for them.
I think he likes the Justin Fields quarterback thing a lot.
The young quarterback?
I'll say. I'll say.
If
I know.
He's available, I would.
I heard from a very, and Shayne knows this, reliable source that Josh McDaniels loves Justin Fields. Let's take that. I think this rumor came out today, guys, because I just heard it now. I just got a text from someone. They're saying they want to interview him, definitely, Leslie Frazier, because they're trying to do what we've been saying, get former affiliation with the Bears back in the building.
Appease the fucking meatheads.
Maybe, yeah, appease the meatheads. Yeah. But listen, Leslie Frazier is a good coach. I don't know if he's not my choice for head coach here. I think obviously Jim Harbaugh would fix this shit because he would be the guy. And George, if you're listening, you got to get someone in there that does challenge you. That does challenge. I mean, history tells you this. Jimmy Johnson challenged Jerry. Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan hated each other, and they also hated you, ownership. But that kind of marriage in football doesn't allow anybody to have this pussification that we have of the Bears. Like, they were going to fire Nagy. I know this. And they chickened out once they saw the optics and how it looked.
It's like the moves they make, how they operate on a daily basis. It's just, I've never seen anything like it. It's very odd. It doesn't feel right. I think it's all coming down. Like I said, I think, I wouldn't be shocked if Pace is still around. I just don't think they'll move Ted. I think we're going to get another off-season where it's going to be, okay, we're moving on from Matt, and we're going to move into a different direction, and we got all this coming up, and we got our young quarterback, and all of us are going to pretend like we're to Harvard. Was he the one that went to Harvard?
So we're putting pieces together. Shayne will get that Bear report. Zach Pearson.
Yeah, I'm grabbing it right now, and I'll put it up.
Send it to me, please.
I'll send it to you, and I want to put it up here just to show you. Yeah, I unveiled it here on the show probably.
You don't win football with
6 weeks ago, and it's
on any level. On the Pop Warner level, if you got the parents invading the coach, like, coach, we really need to get Johnny and Jimmy and that don't work. On the high school level, with the parents jumping or the principal coming in, like, no, coach,
here it is right here.
Needs to be 45 minutes.
This is the blurb that I shared. 100% somebody from the Chicago Bears, and I'll read it. When organizations or teams focus too much on collaboration, individuals can become focused on what they need to get done. They don't take time to acknowledge other past efforts. They fixate on the what and miss the importance of discussing the why, which is essential to ensuring that the work has purpose and meaning. So that, to me, tells me that they said, we're going to focus on the whys. We're going to make a concerted effort as we collaborate to talk about the whys, not the whats. We're going to do the whys.
My God, that is spot on.
I'll text it to you, Zach, because it's
Lucas, Harvard, Ryan, saving job, Nagy, glorified quarterback.
But honestly, coach. Zach, are you really that shocked that their business model is from the fucking Harvard Business Review blurb?
No.
I'm not at all.
No.
Preview.
smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up. 100.
Yes!
What? Here it is! Just reported.
Just no competition.
Keeping it 100. The people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keeping it 100. Keeping it 100, baby.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
The smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two dudes that kept it real. The dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man and Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're moused up like the true and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the armchair. The tape never lies, the truth you see. We laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max sat. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun debt. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Draft Dr.
Keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Money Man Marsaw. And the guard.
Oh, it's Claudio. I mean, it's Chris. It's Jackle. I don't even know my name. It's Friday night. Where's your family? It's right here. TTNL, a special episode on this wonderful evening, Friday, December 17th. We got
There's
our
hope,
favorite
guys.
love. Two gentlemen, Mr. Phil Marsaw and Shayne Atoshi. Keep going, Shayne. Come on. What else you got for me? Keep it coming.
There's hope, guys.
There's no hope. Up with hope, down with dope.
Get off.
Now,
He's got.
let's go, Shayne. I want to keep you fucking on here so you can.
That's not. That was not me. I
Is
think.
it bullets in the bed?
Yeah, I think that's your other
bullets?
boy. I think that's your other boy.
Fucking Phil sabotaging my ass.
What's up, Jackle?
Hello, hello,
You did
hello.
a perfect impression of Claudio.
I tried. I tried.
Whoa.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Ariel's mother just sent me a video Christmas card. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was some collaboration going
Welcome to Friday Night TTNL.
Friday night TTNL, Chris Jackle. How about that?
I'm proud of Jackle. He didn't do one of these when he was doing the.
I know.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, this is.
yo, we missed the yo, but we got Friday night, keeping it 100. We had the embarrassment on Sunday night national stage. So Why not fucking go to Monday night and do the
right.
same thing?
Phil and I were just hungover. That's why we didn't roll Wednesday night.
We've been dealing with a lot. So it is. You got the holidays coming up.
Ever since Cherie got a boyfriend, it's fucked
I know.
our whole schedule
Shane.
up.
We were supposed to do the live
it's
single.
over now.
What was it? Farmers.
Will won't text us back, and Cherie just she's all in love now.
Oh, bring that fat ass over here.
That wasn't me.
That was not me.
You know that.
Fucking bullets pulling
That's
fucking
bullets
magic in the green
I'm fucking
room.
with it. I love Savage back there. I love it.
Friday night ab workout tonight. You guys got me laughing. I need these laughs tonight because it's crazy as you get close to the holidays. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on with the Chicago Bears, the COVID Bears. The C is for COVID this week on their helmet. We're going to get into all of that. But Shayne, first, we wanted to tackle the family issues going on and update and let people know. Apparently, it's Chris Jackle's GoFundMe, Shayne. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Chris Jackle GoFundMe account.
We were trying to get Jackle was trying to fix it. I don't know. He's muted.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
You were able to fix it.
Here, look.
Let's see. GoFundMe. I need my reading glasses. A fundraiser.
No,
where's I don't see
right.
Jackle.
It's gone. See?
Where's TTNL?
It's not about that. It's about Cam, and I don't know why it looks different on my phone. I'll be honest.
Bring on our guest and get him in here.
Let
and
him
we'll
do it.
Start talking, and
we don't have a celebrity intro for this guy. We should have.
You should fucking
something
from the Indianapolis Colts. Quiddy Pay, everybody.
Should I give him a beatbox intro?
Nah, nobody cares.
Happy holidays.
His brother was in Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
So this is the brother of a famous actor on stage. There he is.
What's up, guys?
What is up? One of the best people I know right here, Miguel Bullets, as you know, showing us. Can you turn your camera phone sideways so you fill up the screen?
I want to see all of you. Or Shayne does anyway.
There we go.
This is only this is for Angela.
Bullets, Wallingford,
Bullets from Wallingford, Connecticut.
Mexicali, California, man. That's where I'm hiding, Mexicali.
Be careful, you may run into Angelo out there. Shit.
Yeah, I might, man. Shit. Yes. To me, fuck that.
Well, tonight we want to kick off Friday night, keeping it 100 with the fam. Obviously, Cam Beige has been on everybody's mind. The GoFundMe started by Chris Jackle for TTNL for Raven, and Cam. And, you know, we always have to have humor in our lives. I mean, without laughter, there is no life, I've always said. So, you know, tonight, without joking, you know, Cam, we have some updates, Bullets. You wanted to share a little bit about what's going on, how people can help out, and what is going on with Cam.
Yes, definitely. First of all, I want to thank you, Chris, for doing what you did, man. I know people say you don't do shit, but hooking up that GoFundMe was huge, man. I mean, there's already funds in the account for Raven to help her pay her bills. I can't take any credit for anything that's been done. Josh E is the one who drove from Florida all the way to Texas in his car to be with Raven, to help her get some finances set up, to be with Cameron. So if you guys can, if you go on the link for the GoFundMe, if you, like I said, if you can donate anything, $1, $5, whatever you. I know the holidays are tough.
Can you get a banner, Cherie? While Chris
puts the link. I got the link coming right now.
But whatever you guys can send, man, anything will help. It'll help them out a lot. So
we said that, and just like in football, every inch counts, every dollar counts. If it's $1, it's $1. Don't be
over
bashful.
$3,000.
Exactly. I appreciate you guys doing this, man. It's huge. Like you said, you guys are always preaching family. It's important, and he's doing better. They've been trying to wake him from the intubation, but I guess the doctors want him to be at certain levels. But they said he's had maybe 4 or 5 good days, is what Josh has been telling me. So they're going to try to wake him again tomorrow. They tried to do it today, but Josh had to leave and go back home. But said that he's had a few good days the last couple of days, and they're going to try to wake him again tomorrow. But they said they want to get his lungs breathing on their own. But all the tests that he's needed to pass, he's been doing. So it looks like he's going to be out of the woods soon. So it looks good, it looks promising. Let's just keep our prayers strong. And any way you guys can help out, we really appreciate it. So thank you.
We thank you for coming on here tonight to share this really important thing. You know, it's not about picking favorites. It's about the reality of things coming across our plate, if you will, for me and Shayne to embrace you fans of this show. Like when I tell friends and family about this network, this show, they can't believe it. You know, family and friends of, you know, they could be Jets fans, Patriot fans around here in Connecticut. They're like, I can't believe how big your show is. I find myself watching. I don't even fucking like the Bears. And to have a platform to share with anybody going through something, when you send it to me or Shayne or Jackle or Claudio, it is about the power of positivity. We all are going through stuff in our lives. This isn't a race. I've been around people that, you know, sometimes, I guess that's just what the world is. But sometimes, yeah, I'm going through this. Well, you know, I'm going through, it ain't a competition.
No,
it ain't a competition. It's real life. It's about helping each other out. And I think a lot of you fans and a lot of you people, I don't know how you, whatever you title yourself as, TTNL head, 100 crew, however you title yourself, have been so instrumental and helpful. So just reiterating, every inch matters in fucking football. You saw the open made by Shayne there with all the collaboration and all of that bullshit. We're here to support, laugh, break down, analyze this team and this franchise. You already see the Olin Kreutz stories building. You heard it here first. You already saw the president. You heard it here first. You saw, you heard it here. You heard it here. This is where we take pride. Yeah, we pat ourselves on the back. Just look in the mirror. If you had a show, would you pat yourself on the back if you did the work? You damn well should. I'll tell you that. I learned this doing this show and this network. A little bit goes a long way. Jackal started doing shit. Look at how good the show has gone.
That's right.
But in all seriousness, your help for Cam is just instrumental. And listen, I don't know how to talk other than truthfully. So I'll say, you know, when you're the breadwinner for your wife and you go down, who's stepping up?
Right.
So that's when people have to step in. You can't turn a blind eye. Don't be that person filming shit go down. Be the person helping out. That's all we could say. We wanted to kick off this show as we move closer to the holidays. And we know, all of us know, you know, Santa's fucking got some big bills. Right?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Santa ain't cheap.
Right.
So, you know, we understand. So that's why, even if it's $5,
it's going up
you
while
did
we're talking.
something.
So good job.
You should be proud of yourself. I know we will be. I know I am. And just help the situation. And Bullets, you and Jackal leading this cause with Josh E. Just, I'm proud of this network, proud of this show. So I really appreciate that. And I'd like to, I think Raven's here.
Yeah, that's her
her
email.
there?
I keep trying to hit the button, but
She's like,
Nice.
there she is. Raven, I'd like to thank you
Nice.
all for your prayers, support, and words of encouragement for Cam and myself. So, Raven, I know Shayne called you Roxy last week.
Well, it was about 7 times, but
You got it on the 8th. You're good.
It's only
You're
4 times. But you are Raven. So we cheer for the Bears, but we also cheer for you, Raven. And I think I saw somebody in there saying, even John Santino, one of our boys, even if you share the GoFundMe on your social media, it might be somebody else who's in a great position looking to help and do something kind in the holiday season.
And to be honest, Phil, I've seen, because of the access with the account, you can see like the people comment, I just got sent this link and I go, this is for $10 for Cam or whatever it is. Like people are, so the power of positivity and sharing that is definitely, you're right on. I think it's extremely important, regardless of how you feel about the situation. Move it along, pass it to somebody that might feel differently than you. But more importantly, just be positive about this. And we're in fact, we're making real change. Things are happening for them, and that's a good thing. So that's kudos to this network, and more importantly, the people that are listening and that are looking to try to help them out. So I just want to thank everybody for their hard work and their donations, and just all the positivity, like we've talked about. And that's what this show's all about.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to talk about this. We had a TTNL patron reach out. We shared this with TTNL patrons last night, but we're going to open it up to the public because nobody has bid on it yet. He's offered up 4 Bears versus Vikings Monday Night Football tickets. It's section 104, row 9, seats 10, 11, 12, and 13. And along with those comes a premium parking pass in the Adler lot. He's willing to sell the tickets for $186 a piece and $100 for the parking pass, which is all face value. And once he gets the payment, all of those proceeds will then immediately be forwarded to Cam Beige's GoFundMe account.
Nice.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
That's over $800, and that's going to be for anybody. So if there's anybody in the chat that's interested, throw
or on the YouTube channel, you're watching
anywhere.
this tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yep, but throw it up. There's somebody watching live right now. I mean, we can literally make this happen tonight and get our guy some more funds in there, and you get to enjoy.
We're close. We're getting, we're more than halfway there.
You get to enjoy. Hey, you get to Justin Fields Monday Night Football. It's not the exact scenario we want with the way that the team is, but you can still see the quarterback that we all wanted play. So if there's anybody in the and I'll put up a picture.
Give the picture of the seat.
Bob Lobloff.
I know Cool Kennedy has sat in that seat, and he told me how amazing.
Yeah, I'll throw those up. But like I said, if there's anybody, Jackle, just monitor the chat. If there's anybody that's interested, reach out, and then we can hook up on social media and get the patron paid, and then he's gonna, like I said, forward it immediately over to Cam's awesome. GoFundMe account. So that's when we say that TTNL is family, we're not just sitting back and saying that. It's not bullshit. It's what we're based off. We act on it. We literally talk about it every day. Bullets, you've been around us enough to know that we're not speaking nonsense. No. That's not the way that we're built. That's not ever the way that we will be moving forward. And Cars is enjoying Christmas tonight with his family that he didn't even know that he had a few months ago. And that's what it's all about, though. Yeah, it's great.
No, we're very economical, my family.
I swear I don't miss that motherfucker at all. No, all love, man. All love. It's the holidays. I hope Angelo's doing okay. And
very economical in this family. Trying to push some money Raven and Cam's way. If you're just tuning in, the GoFundMe page has been live. We got our guy Bullets, who you always see in the chat. One of the original. That's the view
from the seats right there.
There you go, right there.
4 seats right in a row, and
sitting
anybody
there
that's been
right at Matt Nagy. Fire Matt Nagy.
Right. Phil, you've been to Adler lot, so you know how great that is. Getting right to where you gotta go. It's right there. So
it's better than the South lot. of crowded.
Yeah. If there's anybody that wants to step up and is in Chicago or is going to be in Chicago for Monday Night Football, they're great seats, and enjoy the time, enjoy the game, and we can set you up.
Friday night, keeping it 100. Got our guy Bullets here. We appreciate you jumping on, Bullets. I don't want to kick you off just yet. I want to allow you your final statement if you want to say anything or send a shout out. Or...
Of course, a shout out first of all to you guys. You guys have changed a lot of people's lives. People love you, respect you. Shayne, you always come with the comedy. Phil, you have words of power, bro. Seriously. And Jackle, you do plenty of shit, bro. And Claudio, Cherie, love you guys all for everything that you do. I want to shout out Josh E for what he did driving out to Texas to help out Raven. Big shout out to Logan Frost. He's not on tonight. He's on a little mini vacation with his wife and his daughter, and I hope he's doing good. He's a huge member, and we love him. He's very supportive. He called Cam almost every day before he was intubated, and he's a huge supporter and just a great brother in the family. Also, HL Priest, want to shout him out. Yeah. Another brother that you just got to respect. Love him to death. So I just want to thank you guys. Happy holidays. And thank you again for this. I really appreciate you guys and love you, man. Much support to all of you. Thank you.
Cam, Beige, pray for him. Put power of positivity. Do your best and anything you could possibly do for a guy that I've never had the pleasure of meeting, but it just is a showcase of this man's affinity for football, how he found us, and the whole story behind it. So it's important for me. I got Erik Kramer calling me. Look at that.
Yeah. So, Raven said she's laying in the hospital bed next to Cam with the phone there so he can hear us. So Cam, in true TTNL fashion, this goes out to you, my brother.
Oh, Raven, come on. Come on to that.
What Raven, just is going on? It's all in fun, Raven. All in fun. It's all in fun.
Hey, nothing could motivate someone who's dealing with something hearing that song. That should get anybody out.
Cam right now is saying those motherfuckers. They never stop busting balls.
Raven's like, what the fuck are you listening to, man?
Listen, Bullets, I got your voice message. I promise to call you tomorrow after X's with the O's to update you. I will let you. I really appreciate you, man. You're a man of character, class, and the most important human attribute that I think everybody should understand. If you don't by now, it ain't speed. You Tariq Cohen fans, and it is empathy.
Yeah.
If you don't have empathy, you don't have any kind of humanity. So one of the most empathetic men I've never got the pleasure to meet in person, but trust me, I really appreciate you coming on here, talking about Cameron Beige and your friend and this network the way you did. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Much
love,
love man.
All right.
Take care, guys.
What was your favorite Erik Kramer moment before I let you go?
Ooh. You know what?
Yeah.
The fact that you guys have him on the show and the way that he smiles after everything he's been through, he has the most infectious smile when you guys have him on the show. And just to see him smile, even when he's talking through such adverse things in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I really can't talk about football because I'm talking about life because we're dealing with Cam. But Erik Kramer just is the epitome of somebody of strength. And I just so much respect for him. So I honestly I can't think of a football moment right now, bro. Sorry. It's just I'm just
listen.
Yeah.
He actually just texted us, Bullets, and said, "Can you get this motherfucker off the screen? He's stepping on my segment. He's taking all my time."
Jeez, I was supposed to be at 9 o'clock. It's 9:05.
All right, guys. I'm out, man. All right, peace out.
Bullets, God bless you. And
Love you,
Cali,
man.
we'll talk. I love this dude. Bullets. Speaking of the great strength and smile. Look at this. He might have a future as a dentist. Who knows? It's our guy, Erik Kramer.
As fans of the Chicago Bears, we know all too well the struggles this franchise has had at the QB position for well. 102 years. This guy was a bright spot and made a mark as the Bears franchise leader in most passing yards in a single season, most pass attempts in a game, and most passing TDs in a season. That 1995 season was a lot of fun on offense. The defense, not so much. Bears fans, it is our honor to bring to you a former QB of your Chicago Bears, but most importantly, a guy that is willing to share real-life struggles with you in this open forum. Please stand up and let's give him a proper TTNL welcome the only way we know how. He's Erik Kramer.
There he is.
I love it. I want to stand up myself and salute that guy.
Hey, we used to salute you. Let me tell you.
I love the Bullets guy. That was cool.
Yeah, he's the best. He's an amazing guy.
Human being, man.
Yeah, he's always thinking about everybody else. When my son was battling cancer and going through, I mean, he was, just one of those unsung heroes with his crew behind the scenes, always sending words of inspiration or sending a little, present to my son just to put a smile on his face. And there's the world needs more bullets, the person bullets.
That kind of
exactly.
I get it, man. I get
those
it.
bullets.
That was by the way, Phil, that was great what you said about empathy.
Yeah,
very cool.
So true.
The thing I'll throw in there too, you can't have
ahead.
enough curiosity.
Yep.
There you go. But it did kill the cat. So you gotta be careful.
True enough. That kind of curiosity. You're right.
Yes. Erik Kramer is with. He dropped the ball. He's wearing the USFL. He forgot his Keepin It 100 shirt.
Well, okay, you did mention that, but I'm just saying, like, the USFL is coming back. So,
it is.
Are you considering a coaching job there?
I want to coach high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to coach in leagues that have the ability to collapse.
Do you want to coach a team that's run like a high school team in Chicago? We might have an opening in a couple of weeks.
Hey, man.
Do you collaborate?
High school, I've coached youth football for 10 years, and we went from start, at the bottom all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, the way you run an organization is the way you run an organization. It doesn't matter what age they are, high school,
Totally
college,
agree.
pro, it doesn't matter. There was a guy that I played for, I don't know if I mentioned him before, Dick Sheridan, who just got inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame about a week ago. He came to NC State only my senior year. Now, I only played 2 years at NC State, but I only got to play one for him. And I don't care. I mean, it just happened to be football, but it could have been anything. He could have run, you name a company, you name an organ of any kind. He was that kind of guy.
Yep.
And that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he coached high school football, took over a team that didn't win a game the year before, and went undefeated, won a state championship at Orangeburg, South Carolina, in his first year.
Jeez.
And the same offense we ran at NC State.
Wow.
And they ran at Furman before that. So
how old is he? Is he still available?
He's like 80, 81. Yeah, we could get him on here.
Him and my father will be his offensive line coach.
You know who he reminds me of, and I never met him, but just in reading his book, one of the three he did right before he passed away was Bill Walsh.
Yeah,
I mean, they carry themselves in what I read in the way Bill Walsh talks, the words he chooses. You get a feel for who he is. Very similar type of qualities.
Yeah. Well, let's start here with coaching. Obviously, the giant elephant in the room is Coach Nagy. Last time me and you talked on the show, we talked about Nagy, and it was kind of, where I stood on it. And now you see, do you think this situation as a quarterback has hindered this young quarterback's confidence, growth as he's building an NFL career? Honestly.
You know, it's so hard to say. From where I sit in just the comments, the very few comments I've heard come from Justin Fields, is that, yeah, I think that, well, let me put it to you this way. Okay, I just mentioned Bill Walsh.
Yes.
So nobody has handled quarterbacks better than him, yet he never played quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
Dick Sheridan played high school running back. That's it.
Right.
And so I don't know if Matt Nagy feels if he's that guy, right? That is very good at not only knowing what he knows, but communicating what he knows, and then getting you to emulate what he knows.
Yeah, I don't think he is that guy. I'll answer it.
It doesn't appear to be. And so I think all the dark clouds that have suddenly descended and have closed in on the city of Chicago, and specifically Hallis Hall.
Yes.
It seems to me that I read an article, I think it was either this morning or yesterday, and it was talking about, okay, maybe Ted Phillips backs away from the football side of things, and maybe this and maybe no. Like, you've never gotten it right.
Right.
Never. Not one
Right.
time. And
Right.
so don't make the new guy inherit the old stuff. Like,
exactly.
Cut everybody and like let the new guy build from scratch.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to Bill Walsh, but he inherited I only ever knew the 49ers was great.
Right.
And I got the privilege to play against Joe Montana a handful of times. But Bill Walsh took over a team that was 2-14. And then his very first year, they were 2-14. Now, prior to that, he came in, and that was the worst, not just worst franchise in the NFL. It was the worst sports franchise and pro sports franchise. And he couldn't get anybody to be the general manager. So he literally, he became his own with not what his intention was at all.
Right.
But he was so good at it that they traded away their first round pick. So his first year as a coach, they didn't have one. They traded for O.J. Simpson, who sat that year on the bench. And so,
old ass O.J. Simpson too.
Right. So my point is, San Francisco had failed miserably on draft picks. On everything you could fail on, they failed. And yet, here's a guy that came in with his own plan and damn near quit during his second year.
Wow.
And yet didn't.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to get fired. Didn't. And then 18 months later, they won Super Bowl. But like, he created a what do I kind of call it? He created an atmosphere, a way of doing things. He created an offense that didn't exist.
Yeah.
That he took grief for, that now you can't run an NFL team without it. They all run it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so here's a guy that had to almost apologize for whatever it was he was creating. And yet now look at, like, the guy's probably one of the best 2 or 3 coaches of all time. So to me, that is like, give a guy, don't make him inherit other people's mistakes.
So you're talking to George. You're talking to George.
I'm talking to all of them. McCaskey, Ted Phillips, who you name. It doesn't matter who.
Okay.
So
clean paste. Get the GM out of there.
You have to
get Nagy out of there.
Yeah.
All of this minutia with the corporate slogans and all of that. That's what you're saying. I totally agree.
Like, Eric, if you go back to your playing days, and I know you didn't have to deal with this exactly, but you saw the Green Bay game. You saw Jalen Johnson, the Bears, up and coming corner, sit there and talk about, hey,
I don't know if Kramer saw it.
Yeah, Green Bay made all these adjustments in the second half to get Devontae Adams, their star wide receiver, to get him the ball. They moved him around. lined them up in the slot. You know, they ran pick plays, and this is a player on the Bears openly saying this post game. So the media asks Matt Nagy specifically about it in his post game presser, and he's like, "They didn't do anything different. They didn't adjust. Green Bay was doing exactly what they did in the first half. They did it in the second half. The same thing. They didn't make any adjustments. But you have your own player saying something completely different than that. But if you're a player and you're the guy that comes out and says that, like Jalen Johnson, and then you see your head coach go up there and say that, what are you thinking as what's going through your head at that point? Because he's essentially saying that you're a liar. We know Jalen Johnson's telling the truth because we break down the tape. We see it. We watched it on the game. But can you speak to that at all? Like if you were in that position as a player and that
he was in Detroit. Go ahead, talk about it.
Well, so I would say that it's indicative, I think, that players are now speaking out. They might not name anybody specifically, but you know who everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's indicative of what we've just been saying.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, okay, so about a year ago, I'm sorry to go back to someone else, but I'll bring it back here. I went and sat with Coach Sheridan. He lives in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I went and sat with him and watched this. His son had put together these 3 DVDs of his high school, at Furman, and then NC State. And you can see where, okay, you're going to run this play. And if you stop it for 2 or 3 yards, you will have had to do this to stop it.
Yep.
You can see the play calling happen. You can see that thing is going to get it's waiting for the right time when boom, there's your touchdown. Great. Stop it for 3 yards. But this player has to be out of position to make it.
Right.
And then you can see the counter coming to that about 4 plays later.
What do you say? The what?
Yeah, the counter. Imagine that.
Say that again. The counter.
What a novel concept.
Defense is the same way.
Yeah.
You play defense the very same way. Like you're going to stay true to what you do and all the fundamental techniques of what you do. But you're also setting up a potential blitz or a potential corner blitz or something that you lull an offense into sleep in the very same way.
Exactly. It's a game. I always would say this in my complaint for the last 4 years with this guy. There's just throwing plays up. Nothing goes against what you're showing. You always have to counter it, setting up the next play. You can't go trips right and then come out empty, then come out I formation, then come out back out to 11 personnel. Can't do that. You have to show them 12, 12, 12. Do 7 different plays out of 12. Then you go into trips. Now you got 3 different. Now you're countering out. This guy is so frustrating for a football person to watch. And to your point, Coach Sheridan, I think is so important for somebody who's a young fan or just learning football to understand that it's so important. The game of football is like a magician. It's always been that way. We're going to trick you. We're going to lull you into thinking this, and we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to catch you. We're going to catch you blitzing. We're going to catch you sleeping. We're going to catch you on a double go, a double move. How many times did you hit Curtis Conway you pumped and Conway took, whoop, that's it. I mean, I witnessed one of the greatest throws ever that I've seen in person was you. Packers, Bears. I talk about it all the time. Right before the half to Curtis Conway. If Jackle was doing shit, he'd probably go find that play. It's just throwing it right before the half. What was that, 1994 or 5? Oh, my God. I fucking was sitting in the stands just watching this ball just air out of this fucking ball, and Conway's just tracking it. But I'm like, this is the most beautiful throw I've ever witnessed.
To your point, Olin talked about it a lot with Nagy. It should be this way. he's concerned about plays. It's not the players. You know, like what I just said.
Totally true. There
Green Bay's out here trying to figure out, we got to get Devontae Adams the ball. Yes. So they start figuring out a way to do that. You know, technically, Allen Robinson is your best wide receiver. He's been removed from the game plan completely from the coaching staff. We're out here drawing up plays for Jimmy Graham, who's 36 years old, and Demir Bird, who's not even going to be on the friggin' roster next year.
We give David Montgomery 11 carries in a game. 11. He's your best offensive player.
No, I get it. And to go back again to Bill Walsh, he's like, everybody thinks we do these crazy plays at the end of the game. We don't. We don't call anything different at the end than we do in the beginning. We just do it better than you defend it.
Yeah.
So like
we execute
instance,
it.
Like that
execution.
Like that what was that play? The catch, right? So the catch, like everyone's saying how Joe Montana's throwing it. Like, no, it wasn't. That's sprint right Z out. And everybody that runs the West Coast passing game has that play.
Right.
And you saw Mahomes do it. You saw just the other night at the Charger game. And anyone who runs that offense has that play. And the guy, when you run in the end zone, the guy that runs the back corner of the end zone, runs across the back end line, turns around and pulls back out. That's what that play was.
Jeez.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
did you have ZY2 banana? What is that play? Gruden talks about ZY2 banana. What is it?
Who cares? I'm just saying, like, it's just like, you everything everything offensively, whether it's the run game or the pass game, does not matter. It's simple fundamentals. You put in the passing game in a zone defense, the object is to put one guy in a bind. So you put one guy wide or one guy inside, or you put one guy high, one guy low. You start in tight, you get out, you come out from inside. It's like an accordion. You make them defend uncomfortably.
I think Nagy's got that figured out, but he just puts his own guy in a bind. You know, it's just he has it figured out. So he's got to do it to the other side of the ball. Right. Exactly.
Let me ask you this: as a quarterback, have you ever been in an offense where you couldn't check at the line? That you couldn't get up to the line of scrimmage, say it was a Bob play to the right, and you see, okay, we got to go left here. Have you ever been in an offense like that where you couldn't check and go green? Green is the check. It means we're going left. It could be in your vocabulary or number, whatever.
So to answer your question, no, but I will say that the Ron Turner was the first coordinator I had here in Chicago, or there in Chicago. Not actually, you're not even there. But so in Chicago, the first coordinator was Ron Turner. The way that the way he called a game was we pretty much are going to tell you where we're going to go. And the 3-4 yard runs in the first quarter are going to turn into 7, 8, 9 yard runs because it's just a power running game. Right. It's what Dallas did. And in the passing game, in a zone defense, you're going to put one guy in conflict. And when you when you design, say, a running play, or I'm sorry, when you design a passing play, I remember this Green Bay game. It was 1995, and we had something that was we didn't have a tight end on the left side. We had on the right, and the check was if the will linebacker, which is the weak outside linebacker, walks up on the line, we got to get out of whatever pass play we had and get to a run that goes to the other side.
Okay.
So I missed it. And Andy Heck is a left tackle. And he's like, psst, hey, I think you want to get out of this.
Hello.
Oh, you're right. So,
did he get your attention?
You do design plays as a coordinator that aren't going to work against everything. They're going to work against what you think you're going to find.
Exactly.
And when you don't get it, you've got that built-in contingency for when you see that, you go to something else. Well, there's a great line by Dwight Clark, and he's talking about, this is in the early days of Bill Walsh getting there, and he says, we're going to run this play, and Dwight, you're going to go across the middle, and I don't want you to get spooked because there's going to be nobody around you when you catch the ball. And he's like, yeah, right. They get coached too. And he goes, well, sure enough, we called it, and there was nobody around. So that's like, you design plays like that. Like you literally design plays, like you mentioned, the double move to Curtis or whatever. Like you set people up.
Yes.
You make them commit to doing something, and then you've got the counter that you've been working on, not just that week, but every other week.
Exactly. I wanted to say one thing, Shayne, real quick to Erik, off of what you said. I have never in my lifetime heard more under any coach, and this is including Wannstedt, all of them. Under Nagy, I've heard players say, well, they gave us a lot of different looks than we. I'm like,
they gave us a lot of looks that we hadn't seen.
We hadn't
before.
seen. How?
That's
There's no new look in football. I think
you got 11. You got 11, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Even if they come in a 46 front, you should have been coached up to say, how do we run it against this front? How do we, right?
Well, I got it, but there are some times, every now and then, like with Buddy Ryan's front, okay, that was a wickedly ahead of its time defense,
right?
And so they didn't run it all the time, but they could line up in what looked like man coverage, cover one, and literally play cover two with the corner running over the top and the outside linebacker running to the weak flat.
Yes.
And they're blitzing off the strong side at the same time. So it's like they screw up every check you have or every sight adjustment versus a blitz. They screw it up. And that's why the first couple of years they ran it, there was no answer for it. But then you notice now that not a lot of teams run that anymore.
Right.
Because offenses have caught up with that. And so I would say that, I was going to say something about how Bill Walsh was talking about, you remember that play, I think it was 88 Super Bowl, the one that John Taylor catches that little out and up. Okay, so they drafted players, so they didn't have to substitute. So John Taylor in that play lined up a tight end. And Bill Walsh was talking about, we knew that if we line up in this set and we motion the back out, this is the way the defense is going to adjust to it. We know that I think this play was thrown from about the 8 or 10 yard line. And he goes, every single time a team, not just us, any team lines up in this set, this is what they get in. And so he's drawing this on the overhead projector thing. And he goes, now, if this guy goes here, John Taylor is going to be singled up on a linebacker. And when he runs a little out and up,
see you later.
It's going to be a touchdown. Yeah. I remember in
it's players,
you're not
not
going to
plays.
Got it. You're not going to know these names, but at NC State, we're playing Wake Forest, and it's kind of a back and forth game. And we've got about 30 seconds to go in the game, and I think we're on about the 20-yard line. And out of the blue, Coach Sheridan calls timeout. I come over. He says, "Okay, we're going to put Danny Peebles. He was our Curtis Conway. We're going to put him in the slot. We're going to take Haywood Jeffries, who ended up playing for the Oilers.
Haywood Jeffries.
And we're going to run Haywood on a post. Danny's going to run a wheel route. Now, he's going to have a linebacker covering him. Make sure you don't overthrow this.
Right.
And we'll walk off the field." That's how, he knew what they were going to be in, and he dictated it before it even happened. So,
he had the right matchup. That's
calling plays, whether it's offense or defense, you know what they're going to do before it's ever even done. On Thursday and Friday, the game's won that day, not Sunday. You are so well prepared. That's where that 25 or whatever play script came out of.
Right.
So, anyway.
No,
this is a game you got to be ahead of. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I've never seen this coach. And that goes back to my very first question to you. I just think it's such a travesty of ownership. I have such a travesty of.
Who pulled that up? That was pretty good.
Jackle's doing
not
shit.
the producer. I did
Oh,
it.
you did.
Now that dude, Danny
Jackle's not
Peebles, he was drafted, I think, in the second round by Tampa, and he was a world class sprinter. He was on the 4x100 meter relay team that won the NCAA championships that year.
Have you found the Conway throw yet, Jackle? He's still looking for it. Look at him. You got to see this throw.
He's
people.
tapping the bottom of the barrel right now.
You got to find. Just look on YouTube. 1995 at Green Bay. It's right before the half. The Bears are losing, and Kramer ties it up.
But Eric, what does it say when whenever I see Matt Nagy, I really truthfully believe that Matt Nagy thinks that he needs to be the star of the offense. He needs to be the focal point. It's got to be his plays, not the players making plays and playing fundamental football, but that he's the superstar. I mean, that's not sustainable. You're never going to do anything in the NFL with that mentality as a head coach.
Well, I would say, so think about what you said. So if that's the perception that people have of you, how are you going to lead people if they think it's all about you?
Yeah.
Because drop the mic, end the show, curtains
but
drop.
The Bears players, and we've talked to a ton of them on this show, they had to go to the head coach and ask him in the end of season meetings, when you go and meet with the coach and the GM when your season's over, the exit meetings.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Matt Nagy goes, the guys kept on coming up to me and said, Coach, what we would like to see is we want accountability tape put up after the games when we're in the meeting room where you're going to grill us in front of the entire team, the coaches and everybody, because we feel like we need that. And I said to Phil, when I heard that, I'm like,
you texted it right to me because this network again said there's no fucking way that these coaches are putting this bullshit up on the screen in front of their peers, which is the most important thing.
This is the NFL, and they're not going over the mistakes that were made in the game. And Matt
was
Nagy,
a bad game, guys. We're not going to watch it.
Matt Nagy came out and said they would do it in the wins. The losses, they just push to the side and we move on. Matt Nagy said that. The head coach.
Yeah,
quoted it.
That's like I'm sure you guys have example after example after example.
Yes,
because he's been here 3-4 years now.
Yeah, since 18. Yeah,
and so
tragedy.
As you were describing this, it kind of made me think back to one of the things that I thought that the Bears, the offensive coaching staff did a great job of is on Friday. Friday was a perfect. It was the 20-play script.
Yeah,
that was our offensive practice, and it's not. You're not going to run all 20 plays no matter where you are. Mm-hmm. But the idea is that ahead of time basically what you're going to be doing and why you're going to be doing it and what defenses you're likely to be facing in this situation at this point in the game or on this yard line or whatever. And so Friday's practice was not just passing wise, the ball doesn't hit the ground. It's when you check out of the backfield as a running back, you check at the right guy and get through the right gap. So if John Randall's the 3 technique and your outside linebacker doesn't come, you go through his gap with your shoulder pads through his ribs. Then you get out in your route. So it's those type of little details that happen, and it was called perfect practice Friday. Now, Saturday, we would come in, and before the walkthrough, we would be in the whole offense would be together in the large meeting room. And you have the whiteboard. And a play would be called, and somebody had to go up and draw the complete offense versus the complete defense, and not only just his job, but any job next to him that related to his job. And that was one guy at every position for just one play. And so everybody figured out, like, I got to know what I don't have to just know it by memorizing it. I've got to explain it to other people.
Yeah.
And this is before the game. So that's like the level of execution rises that way.
Exactly.
And the accountability.
Holy shit, I'm accountable.
I'm accountable.
Yeah.
I always would say, as a head coach myself, I knew the most power I had was when everyone was in front of their peers, because no one wanted to be. And you both know me pretty well. I can come up with funny shit about terrible play right on the screen, making fun of them, but it wasn't to belittle them. It was to embarrass them to the point that they never wanted to be embarrassed again. And I think that motivation, I don't want to be on Coach Phil's big screen this week where, it's a screenplay and the guard is doing the proverbial, just stand there, block nobody. 1, 2, 3, then run out. And I would say, well, who is he blocking? Is he lost? Is he sleepwalk? You make fun of him to get them to get. And I couldn't believe it wasn't happening but it continues to baffle me, because as I broke down the offense from this past week, it's like same issues, Erik. It's like they call the front wrong. If you're trying to run this, they call it wrong. They slide protection to the wrong side. There's free guys running. And you watch other teams, like, yeah, maybe in a big moment on third down, they miss the protection. People, they get paid too.
Yep.
But with the Bears, it's like over and over and over and over. And it's just never, ever executed.
Well, okay, so just real quick. So as long as, let's just take this coaching staff. As long as Matt Nagy's been here, have you ever had a game after the game where you say, you know what, during the game, we were way ahead of that other team. I don't mean point wise. I mean, mentally, like our game plan was way ahead of what they were doing.
Right.
I can think of one game, Tampa Bay.
Okay.
So you're talking in almost 4 years. So that's really bad.
I'm talking about every game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That as a team, as a staff,
you're prepared.
The game you're in is already won by Friday.
Exactly.
Now you just got to go execute on Sunday.
I've never, ever been a witness to that since you've played. I'm trying to think if I'm stretching this truth. I think maybe under Mark Trestman, as of all people, I felt like offensively they were going to go out there and compete because of the weaponry they had offensively with Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, Matt Forte, and company, and Greg Olsen. They didn't have Greg Olsen, but you know what I'm saying. I felt like they had a lot of talent to be able to do something, but never. It was you, Conway, Jeff Graham, who probably is the most underrated receiver in Bears history, that they traded his ass out of town. They traded Greg Olsen and Jeff Graham. Unbelievable. You guys were consistent. You were able to produce every game. It wasn't like you were going to have to worry. And we just don't see that there. And unfortunately for Ralph Barf, he doesn't get that when you're analyzing a team, you have to look at these things through the coach. And that's the most important thing. You had a coach in Detroit, Wayne Fonts. You probably had your moments where you're like, does this guy know what we're doing here? And I think there
was a lot of those. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you were mature. Here's Justin Fields, who I don't think he's flappable, Shayne. I don't think he's like, oh, this is too much for me. I think he's defeated by the guy, the chef. It's like you're a great chef. You go work under a shitty chef, but he's in charge and he's getting shitty, cheap, ingredients. You as a young chef are like, this is how we're cutting corners. We're going to lose customers. that's what I can compare Matt Nagy in an analogy. It's that cutting corners of just sheer stupidity. And it's hurtful to a young football player. But I can say, and I know you haven't watched a lot of Justin Fields through his college, I just have never seen the kid defeated. Even in those moments, it's like he is angry about the situation. That's so if you compare you with Fonts to Justin now, can Justin get out of it like you were able to get out of the way there?
Yeah, it's all like very rare. In fact, I'm having a hard time right now thinking of one where somebody just goes start to finish, wire to wire, and life is just perfect. So, and I don't care what you're talking about. And so I just got through telling you about, Bill Walsh nearly quitting.
Right.
At a year and a half before they won the Super Bowl.
Right.
And it wasn't because he's a quitter. It's just he was feeling like all the work he's doing is not paying off. He doesn't have the answers. Well, what he didn't realize was they were getting better. And when there was a fix to be made, they did fix it. And anyway, so I just think that, who knows? I mean, maybe, one name I've been hearing, and I'm sure you guys have too, is Ryan Day. And, that's obviously somebody that it would seem that Justin's got they certainly have a great history together.
Right.
But I think it goes back to, getting the one central vision. There's got to be that guy too. Like that's the most important one.
Absolutely.
And everything filters down through his lens. And he's got to be able to, have a way of the way he goes about life, the way he goes about teaching, the way he goes about, being the head coach is infectious that other people want to be a part of that. Like, I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before, but I want that.
Exactly.
That's what Sharon had. That's what Bill Walsh had. That's probably what Bill Belichick has. I guess. I don't know. But
Jim Harbaugh.
So I'm just saying, like, there needs to be that. Like, the combination of a general manager or head coach or one in the same. But there has to be, like, this unit, this vision that this is where we're going. Hop on board.
Exactly.
Yeah,
now,
Olin's been Olin's been dropping. Olin Kreutz has been dropping hammers on the Bears organization over the past 72 hours. Really kind of letting you behind the curtain, and he was just saying how absolutely everything in an organization. He was talking about how even the meals weren't at a professional level when he was there at Hallis Hall. He's like, this is the fucking NFL, and the food sucks. And I'm like, I
wish he could have come in when I did in ¡87.
Yeah.
He was with the Falcons, and there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was like Wendy's across the street. That's
yeah. But he was saying, the Bears have actually been masterful at publicly going out there and saying, our biggest issue is that we haven't had a quarterback. And he's like, that's not their biggest problem at all. It's not. It's above that. Just like you said, if you go up on your roof and take a shit, the shit's going to run down over the whole house. And that's what has happened to this organization. And it's just so sad. But you've seen like the big thing this week. Erik was talking about the Bears have reached out to Trace Armstrong kind of through the.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, through the back channels, and speak on that. And if you have a relationship with Trace, or
I don't really, but Trace was there for 2 years that I was there.
Yeah,
and he just had a certain presence about him that I don't know if you know this, but Trace was the player rep. He was also at one point in his career the head of the players union as a player. So he wasn't he didn't have the DeMaurice Smith job, but the players also have a player that is that guy for the players, and Trace was that. So he's always been in some sort of leadership capacity, and then obviously he's become, and I didn't know this till I read it, quite a successful agent as a coach's agent.
Matt Nagy's is his one of his guys, and so is Ryan Day. That's going to be a fun situation.
Yeah. Fire Nagy, hire Day. Imagine that. I can imagine.
Well, again, I don't know. I think what you'd have to do in that case, again, is if you have the confidence, if you've done enough research on Trace as not only a person but as a potential person to replace either Ryan Pace or go above Ryan Pace, if you're going to do that, then I think he's going to have a vision too.
Yep.
And so you've got to have faith in that one, that whatever he sees as the way this organization should go, it should go. What I really feel bad about, and I want to say this, is that, Chicago, I found, is there's not a lot of Chicago's out there, NFL wise.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys
live
and die and breathe Chicago Bear football, the history of it, not just what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think the fans that are that way, and there's a lot of them, most of them, they can't do anything about it, but they deserve better. And I think that the organization, the McCaskey family, when it comes to running the team, I believe they need to step aside.
100%.
I agree. Listen, it is so imperative. Listen, I've said this before. I'm not saying anything new that I haven't, but just maybe a new listener. Like, I think it's terrible that you're the grandchildren of the guy who created the NFL, essentially, in Papa Bear Hallis, and you don't know football, and you're not fully invested. You're just so concerned about the business and making money. Why, love the game like your grandfather?
You got to bring in
them.
You got to bring in Ernie Accorsi because you obviously don't have enough relationships within the NFL.
God.
I just don't get it.
It's the biggest embarrassment for me. Listen, my uncle was Sam Rutigliano of the Cleveland Browns. My father was a head coach in Hall of Fame high school head coach here in Connecticut. I lived and breathed football. I love my dad. He didn't force it on. I just wanted to learn and be the best. I wanted to be an NFL coach someday in my mind back then. So
I love it.
To look at the McCaskies, and you own the fucking Bears. It's the Bears. Walter Payton, Fridge, 85 Bears, best team ever to play. All this history, and you don't know people around this league in college. I don't give a Erik Kramer. You and I both know. And I laugh at these little blog boy bitch trolls that think high school coaches can't coach as well as NFL coach. I'm telling you right now, the hardest job I've ever had coaching was 5 and 7-year-olds.
Right.
Try that to teach them every little bit. So
not even that, just dealing with the parents nowadays.
Oh, the parents attack you on the field. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But the true story for another show. But the reality
I know what you're saying though about that.
You have to be a great coach when you coach high school because you're teaching fundamentals. You don't get to recruit most high schools. Some high schools are breaking this rule, but most high, you get what you get and you don't get upset. You build and build a culture and environment. It's so imperative. And our Chicago Bears, the Steelers have had 3 coaches in 65 years. The Chicago Bears have what? 33?
Too many.
That's the
well. That's Pat Manley spoke this week also about the Bears with this long, rich tradition like you were talking about, Eric, and even some of the newer guys. Hopefully Olin can go into the Hall of Fame here, and maybe a guy like Devin Hester. But you got Brian Urlacher just went in, and Pat Manley goes, "What I can't figure out is we live in Chicago. We're all right there, and never at any." He's like, "We want nothing more than for this franchise to straighten it out and to right the ship." And he's like, "We're not trying to define direction, but even just, hey, invite us up, have lunch, and just say, hey guys, what could we do better?" So this is what I want to. This is what I want to say to you, Eric. If I'm George McCaskey and I'm calling Erik Kramer, and I say, Eric, you've been around this game for a long time. You've seen it every different level. You played here, so you know exactly what it is. what do I need to do to fix this franchise? Give me what would you like me to do to change? What does Erik Kramer? What are some suggestions that you would make to me that could define our direction going forward that I could use?
That's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know, but I would I've played in cultures that, as I go back to Coach Sheridan, you could tell right away, like within, not long at all, like a few days,
right,
that this was going to be a special team. And we had better talent the year before, like a lot better.
Yep.
And had he come, say, 2 years before, I mean, we might have been playing for a national championship.
Wow.
But he made it where it was special to be on this team. Here's an example. So at Furman, they had, the logo for them was an F with a diamond. It was sitting inside of a diamond. So never thought twice about it. And he comes to NC State and he says, we go through all spring practice. And I'm sorry, no, this was at the end of training camp, and getting ready for the fall season. And he says, okay, we're all up in the meeting room. And he says, you're all going to go down to the locker room and we're going to come pick you out one by one. And the people that end up back in this meeting room, that's the people who made this team. They never had a cut down before.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so everyone's up there and he goes, okay, this is your team. And he goes, now I'm going to tell you about this diamond logo that I just changed for NC State. So it was an N and a C on the end and an S like that, basically forming a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, so the reason I did that there and here is because it's a very classy, it's the most classic gem there is. But it doesn't come out that way. So it doesn't start out that way. It's time and pressure that make that happen.
Yeah.
And he goes, so I'm going to take this helmet here. He puts it down, and he puts his hand on top of it. And he doesn't talk long, but he says, this is basically what being here this year for me to be your coach. This is what this season means to me. And all the other coaches did that. And then by the time it got around to the players, there were some guys that literally couldn't talk. They were crying, being a part of something they'd never been a part of before.
Yep.
And we went out and had the best season that NC State had in a very long time. And we beat all the teams that were killing us the year before, we were beating. And so it's that, like, you got to get that, whatever that is.
And that's the thing. I think the McCaskies, now led by Virginia and George, have never allowed. And that's listening to football people. They're listening to a token bean counter. And he's creating this adverse environment where sides are separate. That kind of culture could never win. We're going to be here. You guys go over here. We're going to hire the football guys. Then we're going to disappear. Then we're going to come back. We're going to talk down. This is what has happened here. There's no Bears.
I got it. It's kind of like when Pete Carroll went to USC.
Mm-hmm.
He was like their 8th choice.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he just like, oh, here he is. And he created something they never had before. And that was the last good run they've ever had. And now I think they have a chance of getting that back with the commitment they've made to Lincoln Riley. And you see all the guys that were going to be going to Oklahoma have now switched and they're going to USC. Because the guy does something different than other people. I don't know what it is, but you want to be a part of that. So that's what they need. They need to get, like, Bill Walsh, literally, he wasn't their first pick.
Right.
With the 49ers.
Mike Tomlin wasn't the Steelers' first pick. Bill Belichick was not the first pick.
Belichick got fired in Cleveland.
Right.
Got fired in Cleveland. Here's Erik Kramer here, circa 1995. 13 seconds.
Oh, here you go.
Left in the half. Turn down the volume because we don't want any. We don't want NFL to get mad at us, but we do want to show this Philatosian up, sitting on that Bears sideline, right up. I think it was like 58 rows up. But
he's the kid in the booster seat, so he can see.
I had a giant Bears parka on that day.
You might have been the only one in the stadium with that on.
They were putting Bears still suck stickers on my back during the, and I said, "You do it one more fucking time, I'm gonna knock you out." And this drunk guy did it, and I keep it in 100. I fucking knocked his ass out.
He went rolling down the aisle,
just right here in the aisle. I said I was gonna. He just kept doing it, and it was like not 3 strikes. It was like 5. But anyway, that's just keeping it 100. Here it is, Cherie. Let's play this. This is my favorite.
And they got the
look at him dropping straight back.
Boom.
Right to Curtis. There it is. Throwing his hands up. The Packer fans are like, I can't believe it. They go Rashawn Salam over the top. Oh, this is just highlights. We don't need to see any more of those. But that was Erik Kramer.
Way to pull out. Way to pull it
throwing
out. Love
it. That's what my wife said last
Here's the comparison that I think that's what you're talking about.
There
Eric.
we go. There's the Furman diamond. Yeah, the Paladin.
There's the diamond.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. And Coach Sheridan he only coached at NC State 7 years.
Yeah,
and he ran into some health issues that forced him to retire. But man, a lot of us believe that were there then that had he not had to retire, there's a very good chance he would have been up near or at the top of the all-time wins in college football.
Wow.
Because he was a young guy. When he was, I think, I want to say he was only about,
we
when he
should get
took the job
Coach
at NC State,
Sheridan
he
on
might
the
have been
show.
43 or so.
We should get him on the show sometime with
That'd
you.
be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
81 years old, same age as my dad. So that would be
All right.
interesting to see
Good job.
this coach. Let me ask you real quick. I saw somebody in the chat ask as well. When you watch Justin Fields' throwing motion and there's that big looping windup, does that concern you as a coach? Thank you.
Not a bit. If you know, when you talk, like I'll go back to Bill Walsh, but the guy that did it was Joe Montana. But if you look at all the quarterbacks Bill Walsh ever coached, they were all some version of Joe Montana. Going all the way back to the days with the Bengals when he coached for Paul Brown.
Even Tom Tupa a couple times. Remember Tom?
I mean,
Tupa?
literally, you know, quarterback is not the issue. And I know I'm getting off the subject here a little bit.
Right. No.
To get back to what your question about Justin Fields, and the arm motion goes like this, like your elbow does go away, and then it does come up and get in front, and your lower body from the ground up, it does its own thing also. So posture is everything. And to me, Justin Fields seems fine to me. I mean, the one thing I didn't like about Mitch Trubisky, or a thing at least, was he would, with no pressure, be falling backwards or off to the side, or and the ball
always
would go
to that
away,
left.
or it would, you know, like you need to be. I was Drew Brees was talking about this the other night doing a game. He's like, you got to be moving that way if you want the ball to go that way. Like you have to move into your front leg, and your front leg has to brace from the ground up, and it kind of goes that way, and the ball goes right there. Like if I'm throwing to you, Phil, and I want to hit you on your right earlobe, that's where I look, and that's where all my movement goes right there.
Yep.
It doesn't go over here and try to throw that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you get things lined up posture-wise to move that way, that's where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, you would see that with Jay Cutler did it constantly just because he believed in his arm talent that would overcome everything, and that's why he was so wild at times. I mean, we broke it all down here with Mitch. Mitch always had that unlocked left foot. He'd be throwing an out route down the right sideline, and his foot would be unlocked pointing to the left
Right.
sideline. It's like, why are you misfiring the ball? That's why.
Right. When I used to work with quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, it was so much fun to teach them how to, with your own posture, look and step that way, but the ball goes that way. And Joe Montana was amazing at that. Literally amazing. Like the ball's in the air going that way, and there's still people running that way. Like, and you can do that. Like, and there's you have to learn posturally how to make that happen. But it basically is two guys against one. That's it. And you get the one guy to go wherever he wants to go as you're throwing over there. And that's the thing that you can't do without the right posture. And that you can do it that at any age. That's not just, Joe Montana's magic or Dan Marino's magic. No, they're not. They're just doing things that you can do. And so in answer to your question, though, Phil, I think Justin Fields, I have no issue. And I think you might be referencing what they were talking about. There's this little, no, there's not. There's nothing in his motion that's not in any other quarterback's motion.
Chris Collinsworth, I wanted to just backhand slap him, not for just that, but for his constant affection for Aaron Rodgers. It's so difficult to listen to it.
Like, when you talk about being honest, that's the guy you point out.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Well,
I don't know. I mean, that's not the first word that comes to my mind when I think of Aaron Rodgers.
His mother doesn't even like him.
The guy's good. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, but
he's a great player.
In terms of like
character,
people, like
empathy.
Talk about walking over here, but going over like that was everything he did was misleading.
Exactly. And listen, I want to say this. If you're a new listener or you're just Googling Erik Kramer now, Erik used to do play-by-play for the Chicago Bears in preseason. I said it the last time or the very first time. This is your third appearance on this network.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, wow, my guy Erik Kramer is broadcasting the game. And I thought you did such a good job. And I know you said you were green as hell, nervous as shit.
In the early going. Yep.
In the early going. And then I felt like, I don't know, Madden made me so comfortable, I would say. You did that too. It's kind of disappointing that you don't have that opportunity anymore. I think we should try to make a push for you to get doing some play-by-play with this. Just even there, as Cherie and others are saying, you're getting a coach's clinic here as you're describing the quarterback play. It is a talent to be able to do that. It really is.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I had, like you said, in the early going, in the first 2, 3, 4 years, I didn't, it just took a while. It just took a while to find kind of that rhythm, that balance, that sort of what you want to say in the way you want to say it so that it's interesting, and it doesn't drag on or it's not too short or whatever. And so
you never did what Collinsworth, I think. Again, I'm Chris Collinsworth. If he would love to have him come on here, I'd say the same thing. I just think he is a what do you call it? A used car salesman of color guy. It's like you're way exaggerating all the time instead of just being in the moment,
being honest,
and being honest about it. You're just so salesman-y. It's annoying to me. I can barely watch it when he's doing.
Well, I'll tell you what. One of the things that I enjoyed about doing games, and I never got into the full time. I was with Fox, and I never got to be full time doing games with them. I got to where I was gonna. They were gonna pair me up with, I forget who it was, for like a half a season, because I was I do 3 or 4 games a year with them, and so what was really the fun part for me eventually was to get off of this little board where you've got everybody's name and height and weight and letter, number memorized, and get into teaching of the game a little bit from time to time, of taking that little whatever telestrator thing, and kind of forming the pocket, right? And you go, okay, this little thing here gives this guy time to see this, and then you can kind of show what he's doing. And that was fun. And yeah,
you were good at it.
Thank
you. Were really good at it because you were what Shayne said, honest. And I feel like you loved the game. It wasn't trying to throw some big cavalcade of expression. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers here, the way he's able to manipulate the puck. The guy's such an honest guy when he's doing it. It's like, come on, let's talk about the plays, then the windup, then he's promoting his own PFF, and we've destroyed their whole brand at every corner when they're manipulative with their statistical grades and not using.
You know how I feel about stats. Really, stats are for losers. Final scores for winners, and that's really what it's about.
That's it.
And we're on to
we're on to hopefully we're on to firing them all, Eric. That's hopefully where we're on.
Stats are for losers. TTNL totally agrees. We've said it for years there. We collaborate in a good way here. If you're just tuning in, we have former quarterback Erik Kramer, the real number 12 right there. Erik Kramer. Does it get you upset? Like, do you have any feelings, or do you check every year who's wearing your jersey number? Do you ever do that?
No, I don't. I don't. I enjoy, I'm not a big fan of retiring numbers. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you.
Just do a ring of honor or whatever, right?
One number that can retire. 34.
Sure. Yep.
That's it.
That's fine with me. But I'm just saying, I don't like taking numbers out of circulation.
Right.
The life and the game and anything you do should evolve. And
bring the ring of honor.
It's
put the numbers back into play.
They have
it's like Syracuse.
Yeah.
When they put number 44 on you, you're like expected of something. It's like
prideful. Yeah.
It totally is. It's like, hey, I remember as a coach, and this young man died of an overdose. God bless Jay Howell. I put my jersey number on him. And you should have seen his reaction when he, it was so special for him. It's like, Coach, you were 22 and I'm giving it to you. And don't retire the number, embrace it, have it mean something. And I totally agree with you.
Like you mentioned 34. Okay. So there was a time when Griffin,
your son Griffin,
my son Griffin, when he was born in 1993. So I came here in 94. So he's only one and a half. Well, by the time I left in 98, so he was young enough to kind of go hang out in the locker room or outside the locker room, whatever. I think outside the locker room. And guess who'd be playing with him out there? Just goofing off. Be Walter Payton.
Wow.
And so Walter Payton became his favorite, not football player, human being. Like,
wow.
That dude walked on water for Griffin. And so Griffin, as you know, passed away when he was 18 from his own drug overdose and was buried in Walter Payton's jersey.
Oh,
wow.
That's powerful.
Wow, that is powerful.
That's awesome.
Wow.
We've reached out to Jarrett. Do you know Jarrett at all?
Jarrett who?
Jarrett Payton.
Walter's
son.
Yeah, I do. I've met him a handful of times.
Have you shared that? Have you shared that story with him?
I haven't.
Oh, man, I bet you'd be blown away, Eric.
Jackle will clip this and tag.
I remember
Jarrett
there was
in it.
several years ago. It's probably. I'm thinking back here. It might have been, I don't know, 2000. Maybe 2013, 14, 15, somewhere in there, and came out, and that's back when the Bears were practicing. Our training camp was down
Platteville.
No, they weren't Platteville anymore. They were down in
Bourbonnais,
maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so went down
way down in Bourbonnais,
and Jarrett Payton was there. So we sat around, said hi, and just chit chatted for a minute. And didn't tell him that story. I told him how much Griffin loved his dad.
Yeah.
And so, but Walter Payton was one of the first people I met when I came to Chicago.
Yeah.
And he had an office, and I want to say it was over in, cannot remember where it was. Probably not far from where he lived, and met him over there. And what a gracious guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think he had played golf with one of the presidents. I forget which one, but he had his scorecard on the wall. You know, like.
Yeah,
it had to be Ronald Reagan or Bill Clinton. One of those.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
That's crazy.
There's actually a really great. I mean, it could have really transformed the franchise, and not a lot of people know this, but it involves Walter in the 1998 draft. The Chicago Bears had every intention in the 98 draft. They ended up drafting Curtis Enos.
Right.
They were going to draft. They wanted Randy Moss. I don't know if you've ever heard this story.
No.
Eric. They had Mark Hatley was calling the shots then. He wasn't the GM.
He wasn't the GM.
Director of personnel or whatever you want to.
Personnel, yeah.
So the Bears set up a breakfast meeting with Randy Moss. Randy Moss was at a hotel. All he had to do was come downstairs and was meeting Walter Payton for breakfast. So Walter showed up. They just wanted to have him sit down, you know, shoot the shit. Well, Walter shows up. Randy's not there. Hour later, Walter's still sitting there. Randy's still not there. It got to be almost 2 hours. Walter got up and left. Randy showed up about a half an hour after Walter left, and the Bears said, nope, that's it.
Could he have just made the fucking breakfast on?
Can you imagine?
Think about that.
We could have had Steve Stenstrom throwing bombs to Randy Moss.
Isn't it funny though to think about how close?
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
things happen, you know, and a guy's you're walking straight ahead, and all of a sudden somebody makes a turn, and then his life and everyone's life associated goes in a different direction.
Oh, yeah. And I know all about that.
That
like
is
going back to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
So he's in Cleveland, and you may have seen this 30 for 30. I don't know, but they've got probably the best coaching staff ever.
Yeah.
But
Cleveland.
nobody yet had done anything.
Yeah.
They all grew later to become.
Yeah.
And so I think they had the best record in the AFC.
Yeah.
Right up until the time Art Modell announces they're going to be leaving. And then their season tanks. He gets fired. They go to Baltimore, eventually win a Super Bowl where Belichick wins what? 7-6?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So or the Jets. The Jets had him for like an hour.
Mm-hmm. The Jets had him for 2.5 hours.
But it's so true how just one little breakfast meeting altered everything. And it really I'm always so interested in stuff like that.
I remember. So I'm sorry to be heaping all this on Bill or heaping Bill Walsh on you, but there's a great story he tells where he comes into a draft meeting, and he goes, who here has heard of Charles Haley? Everyone's looking around and go, Charles who? And he goes, well, learn to know who he is, because we're going to draft him. And he was playing at James Madison, and nobody had ever heard of him. And I think they drafted him in the 4th round or something. The guy's in the Hall of Fame, and he drafts players to fit what he does.
Right, he could see the traits that will translate into the philosophy that you want on your team.
And you know the type of player you're going to need, right? At a certain position, that if he's like this, okay, great. But if he can do all these things, then that sets our defense apart from whatever. And so that's what I'm saying.
Our GM was looking at
Coach Sheridan had a lot of that. He might not necessarily go get who you think is the best guy. He's going to go get who he thinks is the best guy for what he does. And
does he drive a Camry? That's important in Chicago. We just loved how he drove that Camry all the way.
They
to
made
hell.
such a big deal out of that too.
They just make big deals out of things that don't. Like the big deal should be Erik Kramer's story on how he got into the league. Now he's the quarterback of the Bears. We have never seen an offense, and I'll debate anybody, like we did in 95 with Erik Kramer leading that team, Keith Jennings at the tight end. Rest in peace, Ryan Wetnight. You had Jeff Graham and Curtis Conway. Who was the slot receiver?
Bobby Ingram.
Bobby Ingram was on the 95 team or no?
Or was he?
Bobby was drafted in 96 in the second round.
96. Okay, so
Shayne
95,
yes.
I think we
Who
had
was
Michael
that?
Timpson.
Michael Timpson from New England in a
Yeah.
big payday.
And
Came
they
over.
thought the reason they did not sign Jeff Graham back, obviously, was for money.
Did you step in there and be like, I need Jeff?
Yes, I did. Well,
Really?
Several of us did. And
wow.
And they had already made the decision thinking that Michael Timpson could fill in for him.
God.
And Michael Timpson's a good player, but
he wasn't Jeff Graham.
Was one Jeff Graham.
Yeah.
And
oh my God. Underrated.
Very, very. And I think that, it was things like that, I think, that made the team, take a dive a little bit.
Sure.
You think?
But that 95 year, that was
Tom Waddle on that team? Tommy Waddle? Was Tom Waddle on
No,
that
his
team?
last year was 94.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were sick of all that offense, Eric. This is Chicago Bears football.
Wait a second.
Offense, gross.
I honestly feel bad because the Bears, that's going back too far.
Yeah.
Yes.
To say that's the last good offense.
That's
you know what I mean?
Well, I have
And
said
I do know
Jay
you know,
Cutler's Jay Cutler's year with Jeffrey Marshall, you had it, but it wasn't like
still no 4,000-yard passer in their history.
It was
Right.
not. It was terrible.
No 30-yard touchdown guy.
You had 2 1,000 receivers that year.
Right.
1,000-yard
Curtis.
receivers.
And a 1,000-yard
I'll
rusher.
I'll say this.
Right.
I swear on my family. I forget how old I am, in my 20s watching this in 95. So I say to myself in preseason, when Erik Kramer's taking snaps with the ones like they fucking used to do, like let's play the first quarterback. Let's have a quarterback competition. Let's have reps out there with our starters, get them calloused up. Here's Erik Kramer. And I remember being at a sports bar because they had those giant, it didn't have direct TV. They had those giant dishes.
You're like, right. And you got like 20
on the
TVs
top.
on the wall. Right.
Yeah. And TVs were like boxed on the wall. And we're watching this. And I'm like, holy shit. We got it. The first time since Jim McMahon, I'm seeing passes down the field completed. And the rest was history with Erik Kramer, our guy here tonight. Huge fan of Erik Kramer. Always coming on the show with us. I know you were at the game last night watching Chargers Chiefs.
Yep.
Watching that game.
That was a tough watch because because the Chargers had numerous times they could have kicked an extra point.
Yeah.
But went for 2 early in the game.
What are they doing?
Losing
what was
the game.
Logic
Because
had
they just kicked the extra point, they win that game.
Yes.
Because they went for 2. I think they went for 2 3 times and made it once.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That 1 point would have won the game.
difference. Sure.
And I just think and then they go for it on 4th down. It's just, I don't know. I get the whole, hey, we're going to go for it and add up all the points and make this a pinball machine. But hey, they're pretty good too.
Right.
And you
Pretty
can't
good-
get
got a pretty good quarterback over there.
You can't be giving up points.
Right.
You can't. It's just they're too hard to come by.
Well, go ahead. Jay.
Yeah, just one more, Eric, before I know you've been so gracious with your time, but that like I keep on going back. You're talking about the history of Chicago. So with all of the Arlington Heights talk and going out of the city, do you have any? Are you excited potentially about a new, big time stadium coming to the Bears in Arlington Heights, or how do you feel about them leaving downtown?
Well, if they would go to Arlington Heights and do everything they say they're going to do, but the McCaskies and Ted Phillips move aside and let some football guy come in and with a vision and create, I'm all for that. I am heartbroken for the people, and I've talked to several that they're like, look, I'm not going to Arlington Heights. And I just like,
really?
Yeah. I think a certain amount of Chicago Bear fans are they're just tied to Soldier Field. And it's for them, when you make this about a money grab, then because they're basically going to do what the Rams have done.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the exact combination.
Yeah, it's going to become an experience, not just
Correct.
football. Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
and I think that tears away to some degree at the history of the Bears. And it's kind of like gambling, where now, the owners all want to be part of the process that makes all this money.
Right.
Well, they own the game, in my opinion.
You're making a lot of money.
They should be custodians of the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There should be a layer removed between, in this case, football and gambling. That's just me. I mean, the integrity of the game means something.
Well, we saw Steelers, Bears, that comes into question the way that game was officiated.
That's
favored.
I'm not one that likes to blame things on ref, but that game in particular,
Tony Vegas.
I mean, that was just really, really.
That was remember the Titans.
Yeah, you had guys that aren't Bears fans being like, holy shit, this ain't right.
Well, okay. Now you tell me what you're referring to. What specific?
Oh, there was several calls in the game, and then there was the taunt where the player made the sack that was going to force the turnover and make them punt, and the Bears would have plenty of time to go downfield, and they were just driving on them all night.
Right.
This guy.
Who do you think was at fault there?
The player was at fault, but the call was wrong. The call was egregious. Egregious.
See, I respect what you say, but I don't see it that way. Cassius Marsh went to school right here at Oaks Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, you know him.
And I don't know him, but I know he went there. And I think he went on to play UCLA or something. But
UCLA, yeah.
So I don't know if you watched that play on a pass. It was a pass play, and he got blocked to the ground.
Yeah.
And so
it was a coverage sack.
Hold on. It was, he got knocked to the ground. He gets up. Roethlisberger gets flushed out by other people.
Right.
And you are now just standing next to him and take him down.
Right.
So the whole swinging leg kick thing and staring down the sideline, are you out of your mind? Like, it takes, I get how the NFL has said we are going to come down on this taunting.
Right.
It's not game one. It's game whatever.
Right.
It's
right. But here's
11 or 12.
Here's my pushback with you on this. He's done the kick thing his entire career with the 49ers. It's never been a penalty ever. And the stare down, I'm looking at Mr. Superstar athlete on the other side, the Watt family.
And there's
he makes a sack.
Pittsburgh had released him.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh had just released him.
He does have a personal gripe
because
Pittsburgh released him.
I don't give a crap.
JT.
Who?
Right.
But JT Watt does a sack similar. He gets flushed out. Justin does. Sacks him. Then he goes like this to the Bears sideline, blowing kisses, and looks and does his stomp on the thing, and the crowd goes, no Tony Correnti throwing a flag there. that hypocrisy of it.
Well,
in the situation was
I got it.
Glazed over. Get the fuck
and
out of
here.
here.
I'm going to bring up a name here that's not Chicago. Okay.
Yes.
Barry Sanders would make the greatest run in NFL history, like 1,000 of them.
Flip the ball.
And flip the ball to the ref.
Always.
And go put a towel over his eyes and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Until it was time to go back out again. No, I'm not joking.
I agree.
So,
I remember.
I get how people.
Walter said, "Act like you've been there before." He did the same thing. He would just give it to the ref.
And so I got it. But the whole Cassius Marsh thing, and I don't care who it was,
right?
But like, they're going to throw a flag on you, and you're going to end up doing something that's going to hurt your team. And you know that this is the way the league is going now.
Right.
So what in there makes you do that?
Yeah, I think it's the consistency, I think, is what Phil was speaking to more. Like if you're going to flag Marsh, you flag Marsh. But then you can't just
also
turn around and have
and
TJ Watt go to the sideline and blow kisses.
Here's what Coach Sheridan would have done. Cassius Marsh, based on what he used to do, would never have been on the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, you would have a talk with him. You ain't doing that fucking kung fu shit on my field. I'm just letting you know. Don't do it.
One time we had a guy, this is after I left. Naz Worthen was a great receiver who ended up getting drafted by the Chiefs. So the year after I go, Naz is now a senior. He's at a party, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
But a fight breaks out at the party he's at. Coach Sheridan did not let him practice during spring practice.
Mm-hmm.
So you could sit there and go, well, I didn't do anything wrong. And he's like, you were there when something did go wrong. And so,
well, that's accountability and discipline. To your point,
right?
We've complained about that with Nagy. There's no consistency in the accountability.
I get what you're saying. Like, okay, both
but
teams
they're all
they should be held to the same standard. But internally within a team,
right,
you set your own standard.
I agree 100%. We agree there.
Yeah, and
I just saw that game. There was every penalty was the Bears.
Remember the low block with James Daniels?
Low block with James Daniels when he didn't even touch him, but they called it, took point. That was the game.
I'll tell you what I've noticed now. Okay, here's an example.
That was the game winner.
Here's an example right here of players are now listening. You know the crackback block rule, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so in the game I was watching, and I can't remember who was playing, there's a reverse. And I think it's Kitchens for Kansas City gets laid out. And I can't remember who blocked him.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I'm sorry. There was Kitchens on defense. He laid out, it was an interception, and he laid out an offensive lineman that didn't see him coming. Okay, and so he, of course, got a penalty, and whatever happened, it was a touchdown. It came back. Now you see players literally shielding a guy and backing up with him, where it's just good enough that he doesn't make the play. So you can see players starting to adapt to that.
They're adapting.
So why can't you adapt to the no taunting rule? I don't get that. Like, it's not just you that gets penalized. Your entire team gets penalized. We all worked that week too. Right. We all had an off season that was never ending. And you don't take that into consideration when it's, you're getting back at the Steelers because they cut you. Now you just lost the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
I see your argument. I really do. I just didn't think it warranted that moment.
Okay, you might be right. But if I was
usually right.
I'm
just joking.
What?
Right. That's what I'm saying. What? If I'm coaching that team, there's no what's his name? Cassius Marsh on the team.
Yes.
And if that happens at any point prior to that game, then he's sitting down for however long I care. however long, whatever I say, that's how long he's sitting for.
Well,
But I'm gonna let you know ahead of time. I'm gonna let you know ahead of time if this is what you're gonna do, this is what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Like being a parent. You don't surprise somebody. You just say, "This is what I expect." It's not up for debate. And if this happens, this is what's going to happen on a positive way for you. But if this is the way we do things, if you choose not to do that, either you won't be here or you won't be playing, one of the two. So you don't, like I said, you don't want to be reactionary. You just want to set something up so that somebody knows, hey, ahead of time, this is what's going to happen. I think the NFL has kind of done that. It's like, look, we've made tapes. This is what taunting is.
Right.
On the touchdown, watch this. Highsmith comes around and he takes 2 steps and hits Justin Fields. And I don't care. He's a rookie quarterback.
I agree. I agree.
That's not called. That's not called.
That wasn't called. There was a lot of hypocrisy in that game.
But if you're treating this as though
but gambling, to your point, was my point. Tony Vegas, I call him Tony Correnti. It just seemed to reek of, and you've been in games, obviously, against Green Bay. They get I call them the darlings. They get all the calls. So you've been in the games where you're like, come the fuck on. You can call holding every time. The Bears finally get, Keith Jennings scoring from 45 yards out, for God's sake. We're throwing a flag while he's crossing the goal line. That kind of stuff just reeks.
I get it. I do.
Yes.
But this is not new.
No.
So
No,
officiating,
that's true, yeah.
and it doesn't matter what sport we're talking about,
right,
always comes into question. But I do know that they, the referees in football hold themselves to a very high standard. They're critiqued every week just as though players are.
Well, they need. Do you believe they should be full time and be paid?
I mean, we're talking about $1 billion industry.
Exactly.
So,
Eric, about that one thing, and like I know that I'm not trying to. I am directly bringing age in, but I've always found it funny that you can talk about NFL athletes that they're the best, the biggest and best athletes in the world, but then you have 50 and 60 and mid 60-year-old men that are, some of them are overweight, a little pudgy, that are out there refereeing this game.
A little slow to maybe.
And I mean, every guy can't be Ed Hockley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't all come right out of the gym.
But it's you have to admit though, that's a little bit strange in this game, correct?
I think refereeing at any pro sport should be a full-time gig.
Absolutely.
And they should be in shape. Well, they should have these things. Like, you can't put a bunch of fat cops down in Compton running the streets. They can't. It's just the reality of truth. You're gonna have.
I would say that after a game, you should be, as a group, you should go over. There should be a coach of
just like we talked about with Nagy, not accountability. Accountability Monday, Tuesday.
And then as the week goes on, just as players practice and coaches put game plans together, you should be reviewing other referees and other games. Why not?
To learn from the mistake. This is how bad the officials were. I forget his name. The big Italian guy, Shayne. Maybe he's Hispanic. I can't remember. When he was the head of officials and he had the show on Tuesdays. And Zach Miller had that terrible break of his leg.
It was Mitch to Miller down in New Orleans.
Mitch to Miller down in New Orleans. There's no way in high heaven. I don't give a shit. Michael Landon in Highway to Heaven. There's no way this wasn't a touchdown. But this fucking guy stands, hey, this is your guy, the head of official. And if you look right here, he's circling like the Magruder tape. It's like, no, don't.
Zapruder,
right.
Just fucking call it like it. We fucked up. This should have been a touchdown. We screwed it up. This stuff has been going on too long, to your point, just like you're saying. It's been going on too long, especially in this the best game in the world. It's
right.
the greatest
But
game.
I agree with you. You would love to hear, like on the spot, hey, we made a mistake.
Exactly.
Or
there it is. Jackle did something.
Al Riveron.
Riveron.
This is Al Riveron. How you doing there? Good job, Jackal. Finally, doing
like,
shit.
hey, we're all human. I get it. But when you try to act like you're like, penalties cannot be reviewed. And
I know. Come on.
So
Well,
I don't know.
They talked to Correnti.
In a way, I get it on the field, but to your point, I think officials should be full-time because things happen so fast now, and it's hard to get it right. And but when it should be gotten right, you should get it right.
You should get it right.
They interviewed Correnti after the game. Remember on the James Daniels block when they said that he went low. Well, James Daniels never made contact, and they asked Tony Correnti. They're like, "Here it is, right here," and he's like, "Well, I thought he was going to." Well, but he did. So you can't throw the fucking flag if you didn't see it.
You ain't anticipating Conway getting open. Well, I thought he was going to get open. No, I thought he was going to make a penalty, but
yeah.
Exactly. At least Coach Nagy agrees with something we're saying.
Right. I remember a play. I was thinking just the other night or other day. I was watching a game, and a play happened, and the referees got it wrong, and on the slow motion replay. They're pointing, the commentators are pointing out, okay, but it looks like in real action, this is what happened. But then when you slow it down, well, hold on. That's what replay's for.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So now we're on to the next play, and they made a mistake. And, I don't.
But that's what you're talking about, it being $1 billion business. And I said, it just baffles me that they have, Monday Night Football, they have more angles. They have more cameras available than they do on a, Bears versus Lions game at 1 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm like, what? How is this not just standard operation? Right. How is there not some microchip in the football when it goes over the goal line? Just like in basketball, it lights up around the backboard. You know what I mean? When it just, they're ahead of the times in some things, but absolutely prehistoric in some of the basic things.
Yeah, I agree with you. And sitting there at the game the other night at SoFi watching the Chargers and Chiefs, they've got now this camera that is on these, the one that's on the 4 cables, right?
Yeah.
And it will zip behind the offense.
Exactly.
Or the kicker, when the kicker kicks off,
yeah,
right, it'll stay behind the action, but it's going at a good clip down the field.
Yeah.
So you get this sort of perspective visually on TV that you've never gotten before. And I was sitting next to my girlfriend. She goes, "Who do you think's doing that?" And I go, "Probably some 13-year-old up there that's on the Xbox."
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, that zip line. The year that the Bears went to the Super Bowl, it would have been 2006 season, but so they came back 2007 season. Game 1 they played in San Diego at the time, and they punted the ball, and it hit. The camera. It hit the zip line. I'd never seen that happen before.
And
the ball came straight down, bounced off one of the Bears, of course. And San Diego recovered the ball. The Bears didn't lose that game by much. I'm like, what the fuck?
So now the zip line is part of the field?
Yeah.
It should have been a stop and
it must have been Maynard then, I guess. Brad Maynard was the
Maynard
punter then. But yeah, so that just one of the things that you never see. And of course, it had to happen against the Bears.
Right.
Well, Erik, we've kept you a long time. Over 90 minutes of Erik Kramer tonight. I truly appreciate.
That's true stamina.
Yeah.
But you guys got to carry on from here. So I think you'll be all right.
We're doing it. Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna make some predictions next. Do you want to predict the Monday night score or no? It's gonna be
the Clubber Lang Payne redo.
Oh, bring that fat ass on.
Let me think on that one. Off the top of my head, I do not have a score in mind.
It's a hard prediction.
I'm just not a believer in Minnesota. As bad as the Bears are, I am just not a believer in Minnesota.
Well, the good thing is the Bears could be down by 30.
Yeah.
And the game's going to come down to the final play.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I feel bad because Rick Spielman, and played with his brother Chris and with the Lions, and Rick, that sounds like a sinking ship right now. Unfortunately,
sure does,
because they are really good. Like offensively, they can move
a lot of talent. Yeah,
they got a lot of talent,
and defensively, they got talent.
They got a lot of guys
for
out.
For whatever reason, haven't been able to put it together. And like you said, have had some injuries. But gosh, I feel bad for that crew because they really should be at the top of the league. There's no reason they should be in the top 3 or 4 teams in the league.
I didn't see if Thielen practiced today or not, but I know he's been out, and that'll be big.
Right, and they've had Griffin on defense
and Hunter.
And
both, yeah, both out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
let's throw curls.
Curls for the girls.
Yeah.
Curls for the girl.
Maybe that's Matt Nagy's philosophy. Yeah.
I'm having so much fun.
Hey, when are you guys gonna sign your big deal?
We're waiting for it.
We're waiting for it. We gotta add you to the mix tonight.
We're hoping when they launch everybody in the franchise, we can be the new Lunch with Larry guys. They'll launch Larry Mayer, and Phil and I are going to take over and do all the.
We should be able to okay, Chicago media department. They come to Phil and Shayne. Who do you guys want to interview to? And we pick the player. But that should be what's going down. And get the real truth.
Eric, we've had multiple reporters beat people that are there every day. And we've asked them all the same questions. I said, how come, and this isn't unprofessional, and I know sometimes we can get that way on this show, but I'm like, Matt Nagy, hey, we got to find out the whys. We got to find out the whys. I said, how come we asked Deion Miller, we asked, 3 or 4 other people. Mark Grody, all of these guys. Go up in the press conference and say, all right, Matt, you've been here almost 4 years. Have you figured out the whys yet?
What are the whys?
Just to see what his reaction would be to see how he answered.
That's actually
He's got 5 of them out there.
Well, Olin said he's going to buy a great big huge mirror and put a Y on it, and he's going to carry it into Hallis Hall and give it to Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy and said, I fucking found it. There you go. Look
right, we're searching for him. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you should show up with the whys. You don't figure those out on the run.
Exactly. On year 4.
Best drop of the night right there, Jackle. Cut that. Please put that out there. You shouldn't have to answer the whys. You should know the whys right when you come in.
That's why we hired you, right? Yes, you are.
Yes, you are an idiot. Yes.
Yes, I'm having so much fun.
He's just happy calling plays. He's a coach that used to love Tecmo Bowl, but then hated Tecmo Bowl because they were limited in the amount of passing option plays.
Did you guys ever have one of those? You're probably too young. Did you ever have one of those electric?
Yes.
Yeah.
Football? That's what I said. That's Nagy's offense right there.
Yeah.
Just line them up everywhere.
And it was like a little Q-tip swab was the football.
Yeah.
Right.
I never
could. It was
could
more exciting
understand
watching that than all the offense that we've been watching over the past, since 95, Eric.
Since 95.
All right, well, we got to turn this around, man. We can't be having
this is
30 or 40 years go by between good teams.
The only bigger travesty, Eric, is Cars ghosting you and then blaming Christmas tonight not coming here.
Oh, that's why he's not here? What the heck?
Yeah, he's making up all these excuses. You know what it is? And this is the God's honest truth. He's like, I still can't grasp. He's like, he was like my fucking hero when I was growing up, and I can't grasp the concept that Erik Kramer's like, hell yeah, we'll meet up at the game. He's like, I can't get my head around it. So he's that little
nerd alert.
that little schoolgirl that's playing bashful. And I'm like, well, Cars, you're not on the show tonight. And I said, Erik Kramer's, he's going to come on here and totally fucking destroy you, and we'll clip it for you.
I
Do you have
missed that
anything
guy.
you'd
Well,
like to say?
I'll be out there
Cars?
again, and so I've got his number, and so we'll make this happen eventually.
You know what you should do live on air? Text him right now and say, way to show up, pussy.
All right. I'm doing it right now.
Do it. That's so funny. He'll shit his pants.
I'm looking to see if I have him. Yeah, man.
Ryan and Matt are men of character.
Of course they are, George. Of course they are. So are we.
I don't want to take up the time right now to do it, but I do have him teed up here, so I'm gonna text him when we get on.
Yeah, do it. Give
You're
him some
the best. He's Erik Kramer. Erik, obviously, you're becoming a fixture here with us. And in all honesty, truthfully, you know how I feel about you. We've had some really private discussions, the two of us, and I could say this on air. This guy has the empathy.
Yeah.
This guy has the compassion. Obviously, if you've never watched his first appearance on this show, I think we got to put it in the chapters, Jackal. When you do the chapters, just put a link to the first appearance if you want to see more of Erik Kramer.
It helped me that you were on the week before I had shared the news about my son having cancer. That was literally the week before. And I told Phil multiple times, I've went back and like just watched the way that you talked about your son and the situation and everything that you've been through personally. And it changed my life, and it changed the way that I handled the situation with my son. So thank you.
That's powerful, man. I appreciate you saying that. That's and you know, I'll be honest with you. This is hey, going through hard times is about not the hard times.
Yep.
It's about coming out of it.
Damn
and
right.
then other people, we're all going to go through it, man. And so being there for someone else is a great way to help yourself rebound.
Absolutely. And what size Cassius Marsh jersey do you want us to send you?
I love it.
I'm an XL. So
next time you got to rock your Keeping It 100. But I got to send you. Is it warm out there or is it cool?
It's starting to cool off. It's getting into like the today was like in the low 60s.
Oh, you're so cold.
Come over to New York. We're under like a winter storm advisory. Yeah.
I get it. I know weather's a whole different story back there. But it like in the mornings, it'll be in the 40s.
Yeah.
There you go.
Low 40s.
We'll say we got to get you.
Well, it's not Shangri-La all day, every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
It just looks like it on television.
I know.
Anyway, we love you. He's Erik Kramer, former Chicago Bear. Follow him at EK Pass. That's capital EK Pass on Twitter. And give him a like, follow him, let him know that you saw him here. And again, we'll share his first show where he shares his story. And still, Erik's coming back. I can guarantee we still have more to talk about with Erik on his personal.
We'll have you back to evaluate the new
coach
and coaching staff.
Yeah, we need your opinion on that. Then obviously,
just don't come in and say, guys, I'm pretty fucking worried about this mess that they just brought in. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, hey, we're keeping it 100, right?
That's what we do.
The only way we know how.
You got to say what you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Erik. I love you, man, and that's
love
the
you
truth.
guys too. Appreciate you having me on. This is always fun coming on with you guys.
Yeah. Have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the New Year, and hopefully 2022 is a lot better for everybody. I said it's been a crazy couple of years. So
I know. Well, we're headed for another one of those, but hopefully it won't be as bad.
Yep.
Absolutely. And again, I appreciate you guys. Great being on with you. And go Bears.
Go Bears. We'll talk.
Thanks, Erik.
I'll give you a call.
You guys be good.
Week. Bye now.
Don't forget to call Cars a pussy.
He did hear that.
Yeah. Don't be surprised, guys. I've got something special for you in my sack.
There you go.
A biscuit.
Tomorrow, speaking of that, we'll be live X's with the O's if you're a patron. Become a patron right there. The tapeneverlies.com. It's pretty simple right there under this. Ron G. Keeping it 100. I think this is my favorite background. It just pops. I just like the way it looks. Can we get a 3-man version of this? I know Ron's probably watching. He'll probably make it right now.
He'll text it to me within 13 seconds. He's the best.
Hold on, Phil. I'll make it right. That's the kind of person he is. Listen, we're doing an abbreviated show tonight, keeping it 100 on a Friday night. Shayne, Phil, we got our guy, Chris Jackle, and our lady of the house sitting in her queen chair back there.
Have some breaking
Lady
news,
Bear.
though.
Do we have breaking news?
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
We have a little update on these tickets.
Oh, really?
That are available. Yeah, and the person willing to donate them has actually dropped the price from face value and said he'll take $600 for the 4 tickets and the parking pass, and he will also not only drop the price, he is willing to still make up the other end, so Cam benefits and gets the full price in the GoFundMe. So if there is a listener out there, if you're just tuning in, Bears, Vikings, Monday Night Football, section 104, row 9, seats 10, 11, 12, and 13. This would be your view to see Justin Fields lead the Chicago Bears Monday night. Comes with a parking pass in the Adler lot. Whatever, $600 for the 4 tickets and the parking pass, and that money will instantly be transferred over to Cam Beige and his GoFundMe, and the extra $144 that the TTNL patron has knocked down in the price will be made up and added in there also. So if there's anybody that wants to step up to the plate and grab those
step
tickets,
up to the plate.
They're still available.
Go to the game. Have some
You never
fun.
know. The Bears always. That's the one thing Matt Nagy has done is beat Minnesota. I believe he's 5-1 against Minnesota in his career. 6-1.
Yeah,
So
I think it's 6-1. And Kirk Cousins has a terrible time on Monday night. So maybe that trend will continue. Obviously, a lot of COVID stuff, Shayne. When we look at this game, we're going to roll through this real quick. We haven't done any ads, Shayne. So
yeah, we definitely got to get onto that. But yeah, let me
go over here. Do you want me to do a BETUS ad or?
Yeah, do BETUS, and I will pull up the other and get that ready.
Well, that's BETUS is shorter, so I don't know if you want to
shorter my friend Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do the bet. I'm looking for BETUS. There it is. BETUS, Chris Jackle. Hey guys. Is BETUS up there? No, it isn't. Could someone throw that logo up there? Hey guys, this is your boy. This is your dad, Phil. Sports betting season is in full force now. Again, with NHL, NBA, and football all rocking and rolling. College basketball. You may already know this, but BETUS has been a pioneer in sportsbook industry. I'm sorry, Eric. For almost 3 decades, thriving and paying their loyal customer base. That is betus.com. And they have loads of bonuses. Join now, or you can even call a number. It's 1-800-69, Shayne's favorite number. BETUS. That's right. That's 1-800-MY-BETUS. You will receive 125% sign-up bonus by using the bonus code ShyCity125. That's ShyCity125. They have re-up and referral bonuses also. So if you refer a friend, they're going to bonus you up there too. So BETUS is known as America's favorite sports book for a lot of reasons. BETUS has all your NBA, NHL, NFL, prop bets, loads of futures, NFL odds up already. You can bet UFC matches, PGA golf, round matches, live betting on most sports books, including golf. Online casinos, has hundreds of games, race books. It has all of the horse tracks. They have every type of bet imaginable. And the Sharp BETUS mobile platform is easy with full betting options. Follow my lead and get your phone, get online, social sports betting partner with integrity and longevity like I did. It's BETUS. You bet, you win, you get paid. It's BETUS here on TTNL. So, guys, if you want to bet this weekend, the Bears have been down and out. Go get yourself involved. BETUS. All right, you can take that down now. Want to see Shayne's pretty face. There it is. There. I like your bee hat.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, behave. Are we gonna?
I'm into the nice, clean. I'm not a part of the Claudio.
Yeah, the Claudio
flashy
and
hat.
Alex Acevedo.
This invention here is called the Cobb Quickie.
They love that. Bulky.
Yeah, you can't mention Alex Acevedo's name and not put up a video of a guy jerking off in your corn. I mean, it just goes hand in hand.
All right, let's get into bold predictions real quick.
We have one more read to do.
We're going to do another read?
We have
All right.
to.
All right,
Yes.
do the read.
Phil, did you know New Year's is coming?
I do. It's
yes.
I can't wait for
this
it.
episode of Keeping It
Cheers.
100 is brought to you by our favorite producers of ball trimmers, Manscaped. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming are leaving 2021 with a new product. Clean yourself into the new year with their ultra-premium body wash. Also, special offer alert, use the code
loves
SHY.
the body wash.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you.
They sent it to us. It's great
My
stuff.
wife
Absolutely.
says, you smell nice.
Your wife told me the same
here.
thing, but that's for a different show too. So yeah, it was weird. Thank you, Steph. But enter the code Shy City Sports for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. It's time to join them. 2022 is on its way, and the last thing you want is to be the guy with pubes getting in your way of making this year your best yet. 2021 sucked, and that's why Manscaped is making a splash in upping your grooming game. Their signature Lawnmower 4.0 is here to take down every pube in its path, Phil.
Oh, yes.
Yes, get 20% off and free shipping with the code Shy City Sports at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code Shy City Sports. Happy New Year to your balls. Manscaped.
Nice.
You see who we have in the chat room?
No. Why is this?
Matthew Karstensen. Cars, if you can hear me, check your phone.
Does this
see if you have a special?
Does this play on your end when I press
Nope.
it? Oh, that now it played.
Yeah.
It said no, but I was like, why didn't it? I was trying to come in with a nice little promo for Keeping It 100, but we don't need to do that. Listen, tomorrow, as I was saying, we'll be breaking down Bears, Packers, looking back at it to get you prepared for this Monday night, Minnesota Vikings. That's the tapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. So much more that we have getting prepared for the off season with special coaching guests, agents, players, former players, all coming in on Patreon, on our patron side. We have plenty of shows, a draft mob and draft coverage, free agency coverage, where the tape tells the truth, not the boys at PFF. So what kind of football player are we getting? You know, PFF told you that Jakeem Grant is just a punt returner. Well, he proves
what?
He proves he's more than a punt returner. And this kind of stuff you would have known if you were a patron, because we break all that stuff down. And on Sunday here on TTNL, we have the Super Bowl show, as in college bowl season, with me and especially our star, Chris Zorich, former teammate of Erik Kramer, will be live on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. East. So tomorrow, X's with the O's, and obviously Monday night, it's Bears Hour Live. By far and away, the best post-game show on the planet. We'll be tired again,
but we'll be
live.
there. Right?
We'll be there.
Smoke weed every day.
Maybe that guy will be there. Who knows?
I'm having so much fun.
There's things that I'm not going to get into in front of everybody as to why.
What?
Jackle's playing all this weird shit. I don't know.
Also, as JJ Carrillo is reminding us right there.
That's right.
Go over there. Performance over politics. Keeping it 100. Get this stuff. Use the code BHL20 for the holidays. You're going to get 20% off or free shipping.
Bring on everybody's favorite Cherie. Flash
There
that
she
swag,
is.
Cherie.
Flash that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Cherie keeping it 100. Jackal still doesn't support this show or network.
No.
We're still waiting for the brand, waiting for a hat. Where are your hats, bro? Are they coming?
Yes. Yes.
Cherie, are you in bed?
Yeah, is that a headboard, Cherie?
No,
Yes.
that's her queen
I
chair.
am not at home, so I am.
Oh, a road game. A road
Well.
game, lady. Okay.
Where's Will?
Nope.
I am at my mom's house. Okay.
You're at your mom's house? Does she want to say hi to Phil and Jackal?
She might be out there in the sleep.
She still wants to fight Shayne.
We got
We love you, Cherie. We're
We
glad
love
you're back.
Cherie. You're all on the board. Let's just go through it. We don't have to play the whole song. We'll play a little bit for the chapter.
I mean, if I'm going to root for a team, I want to give it all I
Next
got.
play. Pass. 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 Pass.
There was no
You
rhyme or
just
reason.
drove down the field. Mr. Montgomery breaks a huge run. If he scores on the run, you don't got to worry. But you do got to worry because he gets tackled at the freaking 15.
There was no rhyme or
Next play, Jackle.
Bold predictions, guys. Let's get them going this week. Monday Night Football. Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Shayne, you're in the driver's seat here. You'll kick us off. We're going to not play the manners game. We're just going to play the where you are on the board. You are in the driver's seat here. What do you got?
Well, like I told Eric, I'm not a believer in Minnesota. I never have been. I know that the Bears are banged up, but you know what? I feel like Justin Fields is going to have his moment. I think literally Matt Nagy is going to be forced to have to rely on 32 for once in this situation. I don't think it'll continue, but I am not a believer in the Minnesota Vikings at all. Monday Night Football in Chicago. I'm not sure exactly what the weather is supposed to be. I didn't look into that, but I'm gonna go with a surprise here. I'm gonna go with a surprise here.
Surprise.
Chicago 23, Minnesota 20. And here's the bold prediction. Robert Quinn.
Yes.
2 sacks.
2
more.
41 degrees Monday.
Did they
41.
split that between him and
I didn't see the change.
I
think they gave it to him.
Did they?
Could someone in the chat check how many sacks does Robert Quinn
He
have?
either got
officially
14 or
now?
13 and a half.
So check if it's 14. That would mean by deduction and reasoning that they gave him both. If he has 13 and a half, they
14.
chopped it. So
14.
there it is.
Sorry,
Jackal.
so my bold prediction is he's coming. So what is it? 14. This guy's saying 13.
It's right there.
Chris Jackal's got it.
It's 14. Not that you can say it, but it's 14.
GCA is
So
guessing.
he's coming out of Monday Night Football with 16 quarterback
Wow,
sacks.
16. And that would tie the record, right? Or is it 17? We did this a week ago.
Was it 16
Richard
16
Dat-
and a half?
Was it 17 and a half?
It's 17 and a half. Yeah, hold on.
So he'll be 1.5 away from the record by the end of Monday night.
Yeah.
He
I'm just not
also
I don't. People are pissed because I'm picking the Bears. I've never been even back. I've never been a fan of Minnesota. I'm back where Phil and I came from. Before we came here, everybody used to be jerking the Minnesota Vikings off over there, and I never believed in it. I think I'm not a big believer in Kirk Cousins in big games, especially primetime games. He's won one Monday Night Football game
against us that one time.
Yeah,
that's the one loss Nagy had. I'm
gonna pick 23-20 Chicago with the depleted team. Yeah.
23-20, smartest man, and a 2-sack performance by
that was your pick last week, Phil.
I got it right
by Quinn. Yes, you did.
I got it right.
And I picked
35-3 Packers.
I think I picked a sack, and it wasn't mine a sack and a half last week.
Yes, I just erased yours, but I think from last week, I think I did see 1.5 sacks. You guys were close.
Yeah, so it was either they gave half to Bilal or Phil was right. Yeah, so perfect.
There you go. So Cherie, that leaves you in this driver's seat now. Let me get your names up here so everybody can follow along who we are. If you're a new listener, I don't know why our names aren't up there. I have it show display names. If you put
I
didn't know that. I didn't know.
Well, no, you can have it so you put the comment up and it pushes it up, but then it.
I hate that shit. It makes me dizzy.
Easiest.
Go ahead, Cherie. What do you got?
Right here, you just remove Jackle and everything goes back to normal.
Perfect. Perfect.
What do you got, Cherie?
Unlike Shayne, I'm not a believer. I have tried to be positive about this team all season, and I feel defeated. So at this point, until they win a game, I don't believe they will. My prediction is Vikings 31, Bears 24. Bold prediction is they play 3 quarters. I don't know. I have nothing positive to say about this team right now. Defense has let me down. Special teams was good last week, but other than that, I have nothing. I'm sorry.
There you go.
The Bears play 3 quarters.
Bears will play for 3 quarters. Matt was very happy about the first half. And you know what? If
having fun.
We were having fun. If this would have happened and this would have happened and this would have happened, we would have won that game. Imagine an NFL coach saying that. Oh, he did. Oh, by the way, Jackle. What do you got?
28-18 Vikings. Dalvin Cook outrushes Montgomery by 85 yards.
28-18. 10-point win. And
Vikings.
Yeah, for the Vikings.
Yes.
And Dalvin
Cook's going to go for almost 200 yards, and Montgomery will still get 100.
All right. So 185 for
Montgomery is going to get 100 yards on 4 carries.
Hey, 25 yards a carry. It's going to be.
Will he have more than 11 carries? Everybody, thumbs up.
Actually, yeah. That's
a good call.
Yeah, do this.
Yes.
Over or under 17 touches
for David Montgomery. So that's passing
touches.
And 17.
Good call.
That's 8 carries
under.
And 8 catches. Under.
Cherie went under.
I'm going under.
Under.
Okay. No joke. I'm going under.
I'm going to go over just to go against the grain. I said for once with everybody out with COVID, they're going to have to rely on him. And
so you're playing the over. Look at you.
I'll go
Bet
over.
US
touches, 17 touches. Yeah.
17
not
touches.
Carries. Touches.
Mooney's not out.
So let me ask you a question, and this is more of a layman's
Mooney
question.
needs to wake the fuck up and play some football.
Yeah.
Mooney needs to just focus
on
catching the
curl.
Win this week,
games and has been reading his own. He's been tweeting.
Catch the curl.
He's been tweeting with Claudio too much.
Yeah.
Reading his own.
The judge machine's getting dust is what's happening.
I think he will come out and play a great game.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my bold prediction. Here we go. Chicago 13, the Minnesota Vikings 20.
Oh,
Chicago 13, Minnesota 20. I just don't believe these players want to even play for this guy. And that's why I will never, ever, I'll never doubt the body language.
John McSmith really shocked that we use the F-bomb? I'm not sure where he was going with that.
I don't know, John. This is an adult show for mature audiences only.
Yeah,
Ralph Bark, fuck up.
Yeah. All right.
John, go get your grandmother. We'll play some Christmas tunes for you.
Oh boy, Ariel, Mom.
20-13 Minnesota, and Darnell Mooney doesn't have a drop, has 127 yards receiving and a touchdown. John, put your woman on.
Put some headphones on.
Yeah, put some headphones on.
Or at least one earbud in.
We love you though, John.
Turn up the volume, John.
oh, yeah, so yo, I'm eating on you.
You're listening to the best Bears.
I'm eating on your motherfucking ass. I want to see you, daddy.
Come on. Emmanuel Jermaine is letting his wife hear it. Everybody sing along to work that ass for daddy.
Can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but you know.
Who is that guy? Got a fucking tan. Holy shit.
It's Ted Phillips' favorite song. That's right, Patrick. He's making everyone.
You're going to have time to listen to it here in a couple more weeks.
Listen, it's been a great show tonight. We cut it down. There's not going to be a bear up, bear down. You fucking beat the Packers.
They're all down. That's right.
You're all down.
All of them.
You didn't come out and play with pride.
Our
and
bear up is Cherie. She's back.
Yes.
She's back where she belongs. And we love her.
Love lifters up where Cherie belongs. There you go.
Wow.
Golly, what the hell is going on?
Having so much fun.
What is going on? You know what's going on? This.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam.
The network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this part signal show is at its end, but for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say that get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal.
Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holler at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. This is strong.
Yo, it's that time of the show. Either you're shouting someone out or you are moving your elf on the shelf. This is that moment in your life that you better be prepared. So if you got any kids, go move that elf. Don't forget to do that, as well as hit that fucking like button.
Smash it.
Smash that fucker. Let everybody know about the best show on the planet. Ariel's mom knows all about this show.
Right, Shayne?
That's right.
And
he's upstairs making me cookies right now.
I'm going to try this new thing. When the person's shouting out, we're going to isolate up on them. We're going to start it off with our guy. Normally, he doesn't do shit. But tonight, got to give him some credit. He's our MVP tonight. Getting that Kramer highlight reel, or did Cherie get it?
Cherie, I sent it. Fuck. Cherie definitely had that ready. I did send it to Shayne and Phil, but Cherie, you definitely had it ready.
To Jackle's credit, he did send me the wrong clip first.
I sure didn't realize I did, but it was a Packers clip. But I was like, fuck, this is not the right one. But he got crushed on the one. The one I sent you? He got laid the fuck out.
Dude, I was at that game.
Yeah.
And he gets up. And, you saw him when he's raising it. He took a shot. But go ahead, Jack.
Yes.
Jack is a vegetarian now.
Yeah.
No more chicken.
Speaking of cotton mouth, holy shit, right? But with that being said, I just want to real quick. I want to shout, Josh E, one of the faithful 100 crew who, this past week has definitely stepped up to the plate, bigger than I think was expected, and made the commute from Florida over to Texas to help out Raven and Cam in their time of need. As we talked about before, this wasn't a handout. This was a hand up to really try to help Cam and his wife out in his battle. Regardless of how anybody feels, when someone's down and out, we try to help them out. And what I've seen through this whole experience with the TTNL network is this is a true fucking family. And I apologize for cursing for the gentleman sitting with his wife, or mistress, girlfriend on the side, what have you, babysitter. Yes, we need to take care of each other. And we always talk about reaching out to people, letting people know, let them know you're thinking about them. Continue to do that. But, this was action at its full force. And just to see that happen in less than a week, it's moving. And I just want to thank everybody. Joshy, I started with you and I just started on a rant, but that may be the edibles, who knows. But I just want to let you know, I really appreciate everything you did, Josh. Thank you very much. Bullets, the savage out there that out in the West Coast taking care of business. And I just want to thank Shayne and Phil for allowing me the opportunity to do that and help out and give Cam and Raven an opportunity to breathe a little easier during this stressful time. So long-winded, thank you. Love everybody out there. Stay strong. And like I always say, please give somebody a call, text, reach out, say hello, let them know you're thinking about them. Love you guys. And if I don't see you next week, have a great holiday.
We will be live next Wednesday night. We have Doug Farrer. Is that how you say it? Farrer?
Farrer.
That's my favorite part of A Christmas Story, when they have
But
to
then
go.
After, we have some
then
surprises. If you remember our Christmas special.
Do you want to save that for your
got to wear a Christmas hat.
You gotta wear Christmas. You gotta wear something Christmassy on this show, and we are gonna bring 3 guests on from you, the fan.
Patrons.
3 patrons that
you
really
want to
come
come on the show.
Keeping it 100.
Head over to the tapeneverlies.com and sign up.
Let me put a banner on there. Where is it? There it goes. www.thetapeneverlies.com. 3 of you will be joining us for the show and the segments, just like Cherie does, and be a part of this show next week. So you want to be in that, get over there to the patron side. Let us know. We'll get you on the show as we head to Christmas, obviously after the Vikings. Cherie, do you have any shout outs?
Of course I do. Everybody know I've been out for a few weeks dealing with family stuff with me losing my brother. And I just want to thank you guys specifically for just reaching out, checking in on me. offering whatever help that you can to me and my family. So I appreciate you all and the TTNL family, just really everyone reaching out, showing love, just expressing their concern for me and my well-being, and my mom as well. Bullets, Logan, HL Priest, all of those that were reaching out. Even Cam, before he got sick, he reached out. So, I mean, my prayers to him and Raven for what they're going through as well. But I just want to thank everyone for all the love and support they showed me during the difficult time.
Well said. Well said. And again, I know we've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. I'm so sorry for your loss. I can't say that enough. It's something that nobody should have to deal with. And unfortunately, I've always said this. I probably say it at every speech I give. We only get one life. And I have to remind myself of that all the time when I get stressed and down, or I don't see the big picture. Tonight, I see the big picture.
That's when he calls me and I smack him back into reality, Cherie.
Yes, he does. I got a lot of people to thank tonight, but Cherie, great job. We love you. Please, I know your mom's asleep, but tell her I was asking for her. I know she's my #1 fan. So
when you sent your love, I told her, I said, Phil sends his love, because you told me to give her a hug and kiss you. And she was like, so where's my hug and kiss? I was like, wait, you actually want me to?
Did you step up in the pocket?
I did.
Yes.
Twist invention here.
Jackle, Jesus Christ, bro.
Jackle with a great drop.
I'm texting bullets right now, motherfuckers. Leave me out of this shit, man. I don't want no part of that action.
Oh, I love Cherie. It's so great. Yes, I've totally dropped the ball. Cherie, the thought of Cherie made me think of Bullet saying we should make sure Erik Kramer is at the TTNL tailgate party that we're going to plan for next year when Shayne will be with me
there.
Awesome. In the house. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait for that call from Phil's dad. Hey, Phil and Shayne, this is Phil's dad.
That was awesome.
You gotta, I don't know why that drop isn't in there, but it should be. Phil,
this is your
it's
dad.
Your dad. Can you hear me? Anyway, great job, Cherie. All the love to your family, and it is a family here. Shayne.
Yeah, the shout outs, mine are usually very, very short, but this is going to be very, very far reaching. TTNL over the past year, we're just a little bit over a year, crunching a lot of the numbers over the past year just for this network specifically, only on YouTube, because that's where our reach seems to be the greatest with all of our subscribers and everything. I want to throw these up here so you guys can share in these. This isn't for the year of 2021, but this is for the 2021 year for just TTNL network. Our snapshot and 17.6 million minutes watched of our content. And if you extrapolate that out, that's over 33 years of viewing. 17.6 million. Year. Yeah, and if you think this is a fucking micro podcast, go install solar panels, asshole. That's all I have to say. Yeah, but down there it's 840,000 total views.
Yeah,
for TTNL.
We can hit 1 million.
Yeah,
we're gonna try to hit 1 million.
Oh, we definitely
definitely
will. And yeah, they just keeps on going up. It's a testament to our patrons, especially our people that maybe are just checking us out now to see what we're all about. It's a testament to people like Jackle and Cherie and Claudio. You see, there's not
Ron
one
G,
exactly
Whitlow.
There is not one person behind the scenes with this network that hasn't been going through trials and tribulations with family or personal. I mean, this 2021 year coming to a close. It's been a hard one. It's been a hard one for this network, family-wise, health-wise, just everything. It seems like it's been nonstop. So to see Phil's and my, really baby that we created with this network from the ground floor, building it the right way, building it the way that we wanted. We didn't have the bullshit over top of us,
right,
pointing us in 87 different directions. We did this the way that we wanted to do it. We did this the way with the people that we wanted to work with. And thank you so much. Thank you to all of you listeners out there. 2021 for TTNL Network was great. Away from it wasn't the greatest year possible. I have a new love of my life with my daughter in June, but then everybody else knows everything else that went on. And Cherie, I love you. I know I reached out, and I always said to myself I wanted to reach out more, because what you went through with your brother, I've never, Phil's the closest thing that I have to a brother. I grew up with 2 older sisters, and I can only imagine how powerful that bond is, with a brother and sister like that. And it's like I said, it's I know we don't hold anything back on this network. We bust Jackle's balls, and Cherie's a part of it, and we go right at her too. But I always look when we do shit like that, and Cherie's in the background. I always know she's got that big ass smile on her face. So one of these days when we do that, if she's not smiling, we'll be like, oh fuck, I'm gonna bounce out of the show real quick. But
yeah, I could have an HR complaint.
Yeah, thank you so much. And even I gotta shout out my boy Cars too. Big night for him. Everybody doesn't know the story, but Cars had, some family that he really kind of stumbled upon, and a sister that he didn't even know about. And for him to be able to experience a family Christmas with her, I just been texting with him about how emotional it's been for her and him, as a family being together for their first Christmas. It's it's a beautiful thing. And end of the day, him missing Keepin It 100 tonight is well worth it for the life experience that he got to take part with tonight. But TTNL, we aren't stopping. We're going to keep pushing forward. 2022 is going to be bigger and better. Those views, those minutes, everything are going to go up. Head over to the tapeneverlies.com, because you're going to want all this off-season content. And Phil and I have been busy making some business decisions behind the scenes, where there's probably going to be some more of our content that we have provided for free is probably going to be headed over to the patron side, because the patrons have been loyal and they deserve it. Our draft breakdowns are like none other, free agency, everything. But we'll get to the business when that part comes out. But just a heads up for everybody. Bullets, thanks for coming on, man. I'm glad we got to see you come on there and talk to you a little bit. Cam, sending the positivity your way. Joshy, amazing person, doing what he does. It's crazy. Real quick, Eugene, I always blast Coach. He made a donation that I got today for Riley's rally against cancer. Not sure how it got here. He had a totally wrong address, but we got it. Thank you, Eugene. To you and your family. Greg Braggs, I got home, walked out on my front deck, and there was a great big package there. Stuff for my daughter and for Riley. Great, Greg's got his warts, as we all like to point out, but end of the day, deep down inside, he's there's a heart down there someplace, I think. Maybe way down deep. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love you all. It's probably one of my longest shout outs, but everybody deserves it. Onward and upward, 2022. So it's going to be fun.
Surround yourself with great people. My father taught me that when you do surround yourself with great people, great things tend to happen, even despite adversity. And just a quick update, Erik Kramer texted me, hey, I sent this text to Cars. Imagine Cars is having a great night, his idol. Cars, my man, how are you? Missed you on the show tonight. Just got off with the guys. We need this win against the Vikes. Go Bears. Erik Kramer. He didn't break his balls enough for me and Shayne,
He's
but
too nice of a guy.
He's so nice of a guy. Exactly. He's too nice. I love Erik.
I bet
Kramer.
you would have set Cassius Marsh a salty text though, Erik.
Bring that fat ass over here. I want to get it in my mouth.
Quick, Phil, before you get going, I just want to add, since we started live today, we've raised almost $1,000. So
wow,
for Cam.
look at
So I
that.
just want to say thank you to everybody out there. I just did a quick little refresh. And,
and those tickets are still available. You can reach out to You can reach out to Phil, Cherie, Jackle, me. They can funnel the info to me. I'll take care of everything from there. But if you're just joining, 4 Monday Night Football tickets still available.
With a parking pass.
Section 104, row 9, seats 10, 11, 12, and 13. That will be your view for the game. It comes with a parking pass in the Adler lot. It's $600. We'll take the 4 tickets and the parking pass, and that money will immediately be transferred to Cam Bage's GoFundMe, and an extra $144 on top of that to match the face value for everything will be made up by the patron that is willing to do this. So if you want to reach out, you want to go see a Monday Night Football game, go see Justin Fields, put one on the Vikings, hopefully, reach out and we can make that happen to you and get you the tickets. Jackle just threw his phone.
Jackle's getting mad. Jackle's getting mad. Everyone's getting mad.
Bought the fucking tickets.
Fire Nagy chant should be going live. Just a reminder to your moms, your dads out there, and to Ted Phillip. Fuck you, Ted. Mary, move your
the tapeneverlies.com. We'll send you the tapeneverlies.com to become a patron.
Tapeneverlies.com.
Ready, Bob?
The Tape Never Lies. Yeah,
the
right
here we go, Bob.
There you go, Bob. Look at the bottom of the screen.
Boom.
We're
hitting it at the same time.
Yeah,
whoever's doing that with me.
Anyway, my shout outs tonight, real quick. Obviously, got to thank Bullets for jumping on here. Josh E., the man, the myth, the Hundo Crew, the 100 Crew creator, came up with that name of super fans of this show and this network, and also a true American hero. Remember that commercial? Anyway, Josh E., I really appreciate what you're doing for this family and for Cam and Raven. I want to shout out Logan Frost as well for all his influence on all of the Cameron Beige love that is deserved. I want to shout out Erik Kramer for coming on the show tonight and for really doing what this show is all about, keeping it 100. He really, really did keep it 100. I want to shout out everybody, and I'll save my Christmas shout outs for next week, but everybody that does anything, even the smallest thing, for this network when it comes to production, ideas, swag, tape cutting, highlight, thoughts, creativity, all of it, just to create the best unscripted, completely truthful show about the Chicago Bears and the National Football League, football, free agency, the draft, just the greatest game known to man. That's what we wanted to stand here for. That's what we do. I want to shout out you three, Shayne, Lady Bear, and Chris Jackle, for all your support for me, my family, everything that we do here. And I want to shout out my wife. You know, in life, you get one life, like I said. I cannot express how I can give two shits if I come off like soft for people when I speak on my wife. I am the luckiest guy in the world to actually have married someone I consider my best friend. She is such a huge influence on helping Shayne and I just stand in the line of creativity. This is what you should do. Claudio wouldn't be the moderator if it wasn't for this kind of stuff. These little hidden behind the scenes patron gems. Steph is just a super mom and an amazing person. So I just couldn't thank her enough. I think she deserves that shout out, that love tonight. She turned 40. My shorty was 40, but she's getting better with age, like a fine wine.
That's right.
I had a lyric, fine wine, but for now I'm just doodling. Later in the night, I'll kick the whole kit and caboodle in. That was my lyric. Anyway.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Shit. We got a new song coming out, me and Cool Kennedy. Gotta shout him out. Performance over politics song. It's on me, Cool Kennedy, that I've been dealing with a lot lately, so I haven't been able to record my lyrics that I wrote. Performance over politics is going to be a shot at George, Ted, and Brian and Nagy and the Chicago Bears. It'll be an original. Hopefully it'll be in Cherie's top 2. By the looks of it, I think it might. Anyway, love you guys. We'll be back next week. Thank you, all of you. I'm pissed. One other guy, Mike Vaught, he was all the way up from South Carolina, but I was so sick this week, under the weather. He was down in New Haven, and I normally would just go out there and meet up. So I owe you an apology. Mike was so kind. He's like, next time, bro, don't even worry about it. You know, it's not an excuse. Everybody on the network, that's why we're here Friday night. And you fans that tuned in on a Friday night, me and Shayne didn't know what to expect, but the regulars are here loving this show, and I thank you guys so much. So we'll be back next week. We got Doug Farrar and then 3 patron saints, Shayne. So it'll be a Christmas special. The 3 kings, didn't they go? The 3 kings, right, Cherie? Well, I don't know if me and Shayne are Christ, but we'll be there. Anyway, we'll be live next Wednesday with Doug Farrar. Sunday, me and Chris Zorich going over all the bowl games, talking about the bowl games. So if you're into college football, and the former 3-time All-American Chris Zorich, Cherie's just finding out this now. We'll be live on Sunday because I've been sick. So Chris, I shout you out for being so, what would we say, accommodating. That is the word. So in the Christmas spirit, we'll leave you at this. Go BETUS. Get the Manscaped. Put the Shy City 125 in there. Get yourself.
Trim those pubes.
Trim those pubes. And we'll end the show with everybody's favorite, Ted Phillips, Mr. Grinch Stole Christmas, a TTNL.
No, we hold that till next week.
Oh, we hold it till next week?
Hold it till next week.
Tease
yeah,
it.
I got the ender. I got the ender for you.
I'm going to let Shayne produce the ending. I love you guys. If I missed your shout out this week, I'll get you next week. God bless you. For Chris Jackle, Cherie, her mom, and Shayne Marsaw, this is your guy, Draft Dr. Phil, on the Tape Never Lies Network. Keeping it 100.
It's over, Johnny. It's over!